What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Teej pack. Teej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun. And a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Teej Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a Dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Teej Hanley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a Dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Teej pack. Feel the Teej, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning into the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm your host. It is Friday. No fumble on a Friday. Friday, April 21st, 2023 specifically. Thank you guys for continuing to rock with me. I was able to come up with and secure a venue for the Patreon meetup, courtesy of Rita and Q. Q specifically. Q's been working really hard. I need to wipe these glasses off. I'm going to go ahead and take these off for a second. But thank you guys. I appreciate you. You guys are absolutely awesome. Let's get started today. A lot of people ask me why I wear these rubber bands. And it's really just a tale between two lives. The life that I came from with nothing to the life that I'm living now with everything. So shout out to my people. What's up, family? What's going on? Let me tap into the chat and see what's happening. I see Chelsea's live line. I see my girl Q, Azriel, J Train, Heather Woods. What else we got in here? Eric J, Spaces, Sam the God. It's Lambert, Big Suggs, AP313. Look out below. Sarah H. I said Azriel. How to Make $1 said this mother effer is late. How am I late? Man, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Please, it's on a Friday, and I'm feeling really good. Shout out to Spaces. Spaces says that hoodie is super hot. Yeah, somebody sent me this hoodie. It's a straight from the 313, straight from Detroit. What up, though? I appreciate y'all. I got Rodney Dunn is in the building. Shout out to Rodney Dunn. Thank you, Spaces, for my first super chat of the day. Rodney Dunn is checking in from Okinawa, Japan. I will be in Japan a little bit later on this year. So shout out to my Japanese brethren out here getting to the bag. Lamb Sauce says, what up, big dog? What up, though, Lamb Sauce? I appreciate you. Rolling in with your mans, your boys is kicking it. I got a heck of a show lined up for y'all today, right? Matthew Washington says, Anton, he's seen my video talking about men are winning. Epic. I think it was epic too. Quentin says, Melanie King pulled up on other people's show. I see you, Quentin. We give no love to other people that we don't necessarily care for. This is all about good vibes, good energy. And so shout out to my dog Quentin. Shout out to Q. Shout out to everybody. Let me go ahead and get the housekeeping out of the way. Make sure you guys tap in to the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. No fumble on the Fridays. We got a Patreon meetup coming up soon. In addition to that, I'd love for you guys to make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. We're definitely going to get into the vibes today. This is not even something that I anticipated having a conversation about. But you guys kept sending it to me, and then I had some of my friends send me some of the timestamps, because at first, I wasn't going to review it, because when I pulled up the live stream, when you guys hit me up for it, I'm like, man, this is a long live stream. I don't have time to go through this. Then y'all sent me the timestamps. I said, okay. Well, since you sent me the timestamps and you told me that she was twerking for Kev, I'm definitely going to be reviewing the show. More importantly, I do plan on having you guys come up on the panel. If you are interested, I am interested in you guys coming up on the panel. If you want to, I will drop that link in the description towards the end of the show. And so we're going to bust this down really, really quickly. We're going to get to it. All right. So first and foremost, shout out to Quentin, shout out to Q, shout out to all of the bag checks, and shout out to everybody doing big things. I love y'all. I will be reading super chats throughout the show. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Classy Beats. Classy Beats is in the building. AQ Inspirational Champion, good morning. We're going to talk about Marques Houston. I want to get into the Apple savings account, and I want to get into this whole Melanie King versus MTR video. But please hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. So before we get started this morning, I would employ everybody that is doing anything worth anything to leave. Let me say it again. Leave these Democratic cities now. I know that it's going to be a lot that comes up during the election season that's coming up. You got Trump. I think that this is probably going to be one of the messiest elections that I've ever seen in my entire life. That's just my anticipation. We got artificial intelligence. We have different ways in order for people to continue to fund what's going on in these elections. I will be reading super chats throughout the show. Thank you, Sweetings Playlist. Thank you, Christopher J. We have Fight Club later on tonight, so that's going to be popping. I am taking a flight over into the Dominican Republic this afternoon. But please get out of these Democratic cities, ladies and gentlemen. We know that Chicago is in shambles. It is absolutely in shambles. My own city, I think that it's making a comeback, but it's not as much on the radar. So shout out to Detroit. What up, though? What up, though? California, almost every single city in California is a POS. I'm trying to make the pledge to not cuss as much anymore, right? The problem is that you have a lot of people that are leaving these Democratic hellholes. They go, they tear it up, and then they run down to the same places that they say is ideal, but then they trying to turn it into the place that they came from by voting the same way, carrying the same mentality. ATL is absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. I seen that Fort Lauderdale was basically underwater. Basically underwater, right? Florida is done. Florida is done. I've decided that I'm going to visit Florida in the wintertime, but I think that Florida is going to be done. Too many people from other cities is moving into Florida. You got everybody from California and everybody from New York and everybody from these hellhole cities in Chicago. They moving down to Texas and they taking their mentality with them. They moving down to Florida and they taking their voting patterns with them. They moving down to a lot of the different places. Look at Q being ugly. You know my service ain't gonna be horrible. I'm gonna find that good service. I'm gonna read y'all super chat shortly. But the minute that people figured out that Spirit flies to all of these different places, they just flew down there. They couldn't afford it. They still living paycheck to paycheck. It's a lot of good men all over the country. And I think that one of the reasons why it's important to, if you can afford it, go and live in places that price out the people that shouldn't be there is because it then affords you a level of protection against people that really can't participate in your communities. Gentrification is a good thing, in my opinion. Gentrification is a good thing, in my opinion. First and foremost, it's never good to leave a place a hellhole. And the only way that you can create a oasis in a space that originally was a hellhole is you got to drive out the hellions. You got to drive out the demons. Tony B says you're not changing Florida's political votes. Tony B, I'm not sure if you old enough, but we just, when I was first really coming of age to be able to vote back in the 2000s, one of the biggest things was they was fighting over the possibility of who won Florida. Florida is largely a swing state still. People don't realize that. Florida is a swing state. Florida is a swing state. Michigan is a swing state. Georgia is obviously a swing state because we seen where that swung to. It's a lot of swing states. It's a lot of states that could potentially turn blue because the core values of who people are don't change when they move city to city. And they forgot why they moved away from the trash hellhole that they got away from in the first place. Gentrification is a good thing because what you do is you change the environment and you change the community to then migrate over to something of value in which people can then exist, live, play, work in the same areas. Kids can then walk down the streets without crackheads stabbing them in the neck. Florida is a swing state. Dallas meetup is going to be fire, Q. New York is done. California is done. The way that people with resources get away with the things that they do in California. Y'all want the sauce? Y'all want the sauce? I'll give you the sauce. So this is usually what happens with how people of resources set up everything, okay? They set it up by being able to still live in the spaces that they're able to generate a lot of revenue, business, and money. So, for example, it's a lot of billionaires in New York. They call it Billionaires Row. It's a lot of millionaires and billionaires over in California and Calabasas and all of these different places, right? And they're not hanging out on Hollywood Boulevard. They're not hanging out in Skid Row. And in a huge sense, they're not being taxed the way that you think that they're being taxed. It's the middle class and the people that generate the majority of the tax base are not people of resource. And so what happens is they're actually taking, from a business perspective, a large loss, which then allows for them to say, well, this was my real income, right? Based off of where they have all of their entities set up. So a lot of their entities and a lot of their businesses and a majority of what it is that they do business in is in other states where they don't have or where it's more friendly to businesses, right? The headquarters of a specific company may be in Austin. Tesla's headquarters moved over to Texas. You as an individual business owner and as an entity yourself, you may have the majority of what you set up in a state that's more business friendly, tax friendly, right? But you may have a residence that you go and visit or spend a majority of your time in or spend a minority of your time in because you're on the road or you spend a majority of your time in another specific state, right? And so what happens is they set it up just like two different entities. I actually did a live stream earlier this week where I kind of broke down exactly to you guys how people with resource are able to keep the majority of their resources within and how you can also protect yourself in a lot of different ways by setting things up differently. If you have not watched that live stream, I'm actually going to do a real breakdown of how it is that I have my stuff set up for the Patreon members. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. But my point is that they stay in these places, but they don't pay the same taxes as you pay because they have really great tax strategists and accountants doing things a little bit differently that allows for you to pay the majority of taxes and for them to actually enjoy the weather. So just because they may live in those environments or in those spaces or those states doesn't mean that they share the same mindset. It's just that they're able to separate themselves from the majority of the policies that ruin what it is that we see as the fabric of that particular state, right? So you'll see the Kardashians over in Calabasas or Drake or whatever like that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're paying the same taxes as you guys. All right. So you guys have to learn how to look at things from a business perspective. But more importantly, just remember that wherever it is that you go, you taking yourself with you. And you're not going to change how you do things until you change the way that you think and the way that you operate. Let me read some of these super chats and then we're going to get started with the show. Sweeting's playlist says, new bag chaser in the building. Can we give a shout out to all of the new bag chasers? Shout out to the new bag chasers. All of the people that's a part of the Patreon. We rocking out. We're going to have a phenomenal meetup down in Dallas, and we are not going to tell the general population where we're going to be. Shout out to you for the 10 ball. Chris J says, good morning, people. Salute to the bag chasers. Anton, I need that hoodie in 3XL. 3XL? Not 3XL. This is just a large, big dog. Oh, let me see what's going on here. I can't really reach it. This is not 3XL. I'll bring you one when you get to L. And then we can have a different conversation, Christopher J. Don't do the 3XL, big dog. Island Girl Q says, I hope your service is horrible in the Dominican Republic so you can enjoy the vacation and not work. TGIF. No, Q. No, Q. No. Xavier M says, good morning to the bag chasers. Is chapping in with the boss man, Anton. Shout out to Xavier M. I appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. Dylan is in the building. Shout out to Dylan. Says, I second that Q. I'll use my zesty voodoo to ensure it. Enjoy your vacation. This is not a vacation for me. This is an opportunity for me to take my daughter to a tournament that we're going to be taking, having a good time in. It's not a vacation. I'm still going to be working. Christopher J says, Texas is full. I heard Nebraska is lit. Go there. Rita, get out the chat. Get out the chat. Shout out to Chris J. Unlimited Cam with the 10 ball says, what up, Anton? Shout out to the bag chasers. If anyone is trying to get into tech, there is a great opportunity for you all to network with black men in tech. I got a tech internship through them. Shout out to Unlimited Cam. Cam, we not giving up no information to the general public. We doing all of that for the bag chaser. Shout out to Cam. All right, let's get started with the show. Remember, y'all. J-Train is crazy. Remember, y'all, I am going to allow for you guys to be able to cam up and come onto the platform. So please take your bonnets off, take your do-rags off. Make sure you brush your teeth and that they're white. All right. And then we're going to be able to have that conversation. But let's get into it. First, I want to get into the money before I get into the crazy stuff. And I am going to make an effort. Hey, check this out. So this is what I'm going to do. Just came up with this. For every time that I curse on a live stream, not a pre-recorded video. Come on, y'all got to give me some grace. Every time I curse on a live stream, I'm going to cash app somebody $20. All right? Every time I curse on a live stream, I will cash app somebody that calls it out. The first person that calls it out in the chat, if you catch me cursing on a live stream, on the Millionaire Morning Show specifically, I will cash app you $20. Anybody that catches me cursing, the minute that you call it out. Now, sometimes I might have to get that energy off. I'm gonna just pay for my cursing. All right. Look at JoJo. Y'all the worst. Y'all are the worst. Anybody that catches me cursing, I will cash app you $20 the minute that you catch it. Stop putting y'all cash apps up now. Stop putting y'all cash. I ain't even cursed. But I'm trying to get this out of my system, all right? Aline M says, just paying my weekly tuition for valuable information. I appreciate this channel. Thank you, Eileen. Thank you, Eileen. I appreciate you. Thank you, Eileen. I love you for the 20 ball and for everybody that sends me super. Oh, let me give a shout out to my cash appers too. Definitely don't want to leave my cash appers out. Shout out to Mike, that dude with the 10 ball. Evans Mills says, appreciating the show. How can I get coached? And Brian Horsley, I appreciate you. For anybody that's looking to get a coaching session, you're going to have to join the wait list. Email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. Hoes does not count as a cuss word. Shout out to Bodega Chew, said the hoodie is fire. Hoes is not a cuss word. It's not a cuss word. All right. All right, let's get into the show. N-word is not a bad word either, Q. Y'all know what cuss words are. Stop acting like y'all don't know what's going on. Ms. Bliss said this is the wrong day to start this. I ain't worried about no smoke. Bring y'all smoke. I'm going to be up here on the panel. Before we get into the crazy stuff today, let's go and get into the money. All right, Apple's has opened up a new savings account. And I want to be able to share this with you guys. So we won't break this down. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get it popping, ladies and gentlemen.
So everybody, after months of waiting since Apple's announcement of that new savings or high yield savings account, Apple finally released it through a press release, and it's fully available for anyone that has a daily cash or Apple Wallet set up, and it's available today to try out and see if you guys actually want to get involved with their new high yield savings account. So in this video, what I want to do is actually get this all set up in real time with you so you guys can see what kind of steps need to be taken, everything that they asked for, and anything in between, and then finally compare what Apple's offering to some other financial institutions, because right now there's a lot of these banks, especially the ones that are purely online like Chime Bank or SoFi, that offer some pretty high yield savings accounts as it is. So is it beneficial to go the Apple way or maybe to stick with other institutions? Let's get into it, everybody.
So essentially, before we get started, y'all, let me just give you a little bit of an update. In the same way that Apple released the Apple Card, where it's basically a credit card that's managed by Goldman Sachs, they recently released a savings account. But I'm going to give you my take as to why they're releasing a savings account very, very shortly, okay?
So I'm going to pull up my iPhone screen over here just so you guys can follow along and I can show you exactly what to expect when signing up for this daily cash
Reading
account
Super
or
Chat
this Apple
shortly.
savings account. So let's get right into exactly how to set this up. So if you go actually into your wallet, go into your wallet, then go into your Apple Card, and then go into your three dots on the top right hand corner, and then go into that daily cash. So in this daily cash, this lets you know exactly how much daily cash you've accumulated over the lifetime of the card itself. So you can see that it's actually broken down into 1, 2, 3, and bonus percentages as well, which is basically with the Apple Card to give you a little bit of a refresher. You get 1% cash back on all purchases, 2% cash back on all purchases done through Apple Pay, and then 3%.
A lot of people, shout out to y'all. I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. A lot of people will be jumping into this simply because of the 4.15% high yield savings account, which is exponentially better than anything that I've seen from any bank. And so it's a way for you to be able to allegedly safely store your cash by getting a decent rate of return on holding your cash in the Apple savings. Now, how does Q said I'm gonna talk slower. Q, stop distracting me. How does this affect you guys in that I suggest that you guys don't keep your money in banks, but specifically get rid of your money in order to acquire assets that appreciate at the very least and beat the rate of inflation? Let's continue.
3% cash back on any purchases through the Apple Store itself, so that includes any Apple services, but then Apple also includes some partnerships like Nike or Adidas or maybe some other brands, or Panera actually partner up with Apple to give you that 3% additional cash back. But what you're going to want to do is go down here to where it says savings and where it says setup. So you'll get a splash screen, and right now you can see that Apple's actually offering 4.15% APY on all of your daily cash, which is actually extremely competitive. I personally use a company called SoFi or a bank called SoFi, and their savings account gives me 3.75%, and it's given to me on a monthly basis, which is actually great, and 3.75% is actually way above average, especially here in the US, but 4.15%, that's pretty impressive. So here it says open a savings account and automatically deposit your future daily cash. Savings is always done by Goldman Sachs, so they're probably the ones actually holding your money.
So Apple is not a bank. Remember this, when you get a credit card from Apple, right? They are not a bank. Apple is the technology and they're the front-facing user experience that creates the technology that allows for you guys to be able to have a seamless transition between transactions and make it easier for you to do the things that you want to do on a daily basis. The bank is Goldman Sachs, okay? And they are the ones that actually manages the finances, the resources. And they're the ones that hold your money. Now, why would Goldman Sachs partner with Apple? We'll have that conversation shortly.
And Apple's just giving you the nice user interface for your Apple Cash to actually start growing so you can visually see what's going on. So then we're going to press continue. We're going to go through this whole process. It's going to load up. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. And you're going to put in your entire social security number here. You're going to press next. Let it do its thing. It's going to give you all the agreements that you can do on here. I'm just going to press agree. You're going to answer an IRS question that they're going to have for you. We're going to confirm, open the account. It's going to take a second for it to open, and it should open pretty much automatically. And now you can see it says account created. It's going to say that.
Somebody time out TR Fly. Somebody time out TR Fly. All right. You're not going to come over here interrupting what it is that we got going on. We're going to be tackling this issue very shortly, but we get into the money. Okay.
That you have $36.18 in Apple Cash. I'm going to transfer all that Apple Cash into the savings account right here. So it's going to do a little thing, double tap to make sure that it actually gets done. It's going to move my Apple daily cash over to my savings account. And that daily cash is accumulated by a couple of things. I accumulate it, like I said earlier, with those cashback bonuses from using the Apple credit card, which I use kind of rarely. I don't use it too often. I use it, again, mostly for Apple purchases. But then also, if somebody's sending you Apple Cash via iMessage, it's going to go into that daily cash, which then can be transferred into this savings account. So here you can see what it looks like, right? You have 4.5 APY in the top right hand corner. You have your total current balance. You can break it down on a weekly, monthly, 6-month, or even yearly basis. You can withdraw your money if you want to at any time. So that's one of the additive bonuses of this Apple Cash and savings account, that the money is very fluid and it's very in and out. It's easy to take.
The interesting thing about it is that a lot of these companies, and I see somebody in the chat saying, a lot of people in the chat are saying, well, why would it require your social security number? Because there are regulations and you have to verify who you are. Anybody can't just go up and open up an account, right? When you go into a bank, in order to open up a checking or a savings or a business account, you need certain documentations in order to do so, right? If you got an LLC, then you have to go and, make sure that you have your EIN, which is an employer identification number, or a TIN, which is a tax identification number, which is basically the tax ID of your business. Or you have to have your social security number, and you have to have your LLC documentation. All right. So that's why you need a social security number. But basically, they're trying to transition everything over into mobile. And I'm going to tell you why this is dangerous. The first reason why it's dangerous is this is the same thing that they're using, and that they're trying to transition you to make things easier. And they're going to sell it to you as, hey, it's easier for you to just do it mobile. Apple Pay everything. Everything is digital now. It's no reason for you to ever hold cash. Now, how is that any different from the Fed now being able to track every single transaction that you have in order to ensure that you're on the up and up? They're able to track whether or not you paying your taxes the right way, whether or not you're scheming. That's how they was able to get a lot of people with these PPP loans. It's some more people that's then been arrested, and they facing up to 20 years as a result of everything that's going on. And so the incentive from the government's perspective, because there's 3 players in this, right? Actually, it's 4 players. The first player is the government, because it's easier for them to be able to track. And they already introduced this into you guys by saying that, listen, we put in $80 billion into the IRS and hiring new agents. The second thing is they're saying that, okay, look, every transaction or every amount that is transferred that equally amount to over $600, then you have to submit documentation over into the federal government, whether you Cash App, PayPal, Apple Pay, or whatever it is, right? You have to send documentation over into these platforms in order to ensure that you're on the up and up, so we can audit who we need to audit and chase down whoever it is that we need to chase down, okay? The second player is the banks. Now, why would Goldman Sachs partner with Apple when Apple is basically siphoning off and acting as a bank, right? Well, Goldman Sachs is trying to find, and banks specifically are trying to find innovative ways to continue to keep customers within, right? Banks care about your deposit because it allows for them to then be able to loan out your money in order to make more money depending on whatever it is whatever industry that they're in, right? So your deposits then allow for them to be able to issue out mortgages in which you then pay the interest on that mortgage in order to continue to shore up the profitability of the banks, right? So they're trying to tap into a new customer base. They're trying to tap into new younger people. They're trying to tap into people that are a part of Apple's ecosystem, which is vast. Now, that's the second player. The third player is, well, why would Apple do this if Goldman Sachs are the ones that's holding the money? Well, Apple gets small transaction fees. And then on top of that, because Apple makes a lot of money from these transaction fees. Remember the live stream that we did last week? On top of that, Apple is looking to continue to grow and acquire new customers by making you a part of their ecosystem, right? So people that otherwise would have not have considered it, if they incentivize you by saying that, okay, listen, we got a high yield savings account that offers you much greater than any other platform like SoFi, and we're offering you 4.5%, people that are conscious about that or trying to get every single last percentage point of interest while trying to do it safe instead of investing in other things that continue to grow and beat the rate of inflation, they might consider moving over into this system simply because they want to chase the money, which they then become a part of Apple's ecosystem, and it feeds into everything else that you do, right? You're going to get a MacBook, you're going to get Apple Pay, you're going to get Apple Arcade, you're going to get an Apple device, whatever, so on and so forth. And then what happens is they make money long-term, and it kind of reminds me of what it is that they used to do in retail. One of the reasons why Walmart became a grocer in addition to just a big box store is because you don't really make a lot of money on groceries, right? And so what they did was they said, listen, we're going to offer groceries, but we're going to make it a part of the big box store, which is one of the reasons why that whole Walmart Market Fresh thing is not really popping, because the whole goal of Walmart getting you in the store through the groceries is to hope that you go and buy a pair of socks, hope that you buy a bedspread, hope that you buy some Walmart shoes, hope that you buy some electronics or whatever like that, right? It's a loss leader in a lot of ways so that you can then spend more money. Hopefully they make more money on the back end as a result of it, especially when you factor in loss and shrinkage. Shrinkage is basically the amount of money that you lose as a result of things walking out the door, stealing, when something breaks, so on and so forth, right? The most profitable part of the grocery aspect of grocery stores is yogurt, perishables, because the markup is generally higher on that, right? So it's important for them to run their operations really, really lean to ensure that they can then hopefully make money on the other side. But when stuff is walking out the door and people stealing everything, then it reduces the reason for why they would have to stay open in your environment, which is one of the reasons why Walmart closed the 4 stores over in Chicago, right? But my point is that they can get you into the ecosystem. They'll make way more money off of you long term, okay? That's the third player. The fourth player is you, the consumer, right? You are now the biggest person because Apple is not focused on the money. Apple is focused on people. The smartest businesses are focused on people. They're not focused on money. And you as an individual, you can learn from this. And what does this mean when I say that the smartest businesses are focused on people and not money? Well, they understand that when you add value into people's lives, you then become immersed in what it is that they have going on from an ecosystem perspective, which then the money comes along with it, but you're not focused on the money ahead of time because that's not necessarily why people do business with you. People don't always come to you and do business with you because you are the best at what you do, or you put out the best product, or you talk the best, or you have the greatest diction or something like that. They rock with you because of the value that you add into their life and the fact that they like you and you're a cultural fit. And so when they can identify with you as a business, then they start to immerse themselves in what it is that you have to offer, which you then tie them into the ecosystem, and it allows for you to then profit long-term instead of looking at it from a short-term perspective, all right? So these are the reasons why Apple continues to march into other factors or other things that's not necessarily technology focused, is because long-term, the goal is to make you a part of what it is that they have going out on a regular basis. Think about it like this. I don't know anybody that initially started rocking with PlayStation that then switched over to Xbox without still keeping a PlayStation at the very least. I don't know anybody that started off with Xbox Live that then said, you know what, I only want to rock with PS5s. Nobody. Because they then become a part of that ecosystem, they clans and all of that. And so even when it comes to somebody like Microsoft buying a large company like Activision, Blizzard, and all of that other type of stuff that's a game maker, they want to make sure that those game titles are still cross-compatible, for different computers, other game systems, and things like that, because they don't want to siphon off customers that are dedicated to that game because they're all part of the ecosystem. All right. So just keeping y'all in the loop as to what is going on and to be informed so that when you're making business decisions, you're aware of why you're making these decisions in the first place. All right. So let's move on. That's enough of that. Let's dive into Marques Houston really quickly, and then we're going to get into this Melanie King conversation. All right. Melanie King and MTR conversation. Marques Houston is under fire, right? And I've been hearing a lot of people talk about it, but I've largely haven't been interested in it because there's very few things that modern women are talking about that I'm interested in. However, Marques Houston is under fire because apparently he married a younger woman. I was having this conversation with Rita the other day. And I said, Rita, do you know why traditionally younger women married older men? And so she gave me her theories, and I'm like, well, that's part of it, but let me break it down. Let me read some of the super chats, and then we're going to get into this conversation. Shout out to Spaces. Spaces says, hit the Cash App, hit the Cash App, hit the Cash App. Shout out to Spaces is in the building. Accountability Partner says, for every live you do, when you don't curse, I'm Cash Apping you. Woo! Anton is on point when it comes to no cursing. Shout out to the Accountability Partner. Ron Unruly says, just paying my dues. Appreciate the game, big bro. Can't get game like this anywhere else. I agree. Especially on the internet for free. Shout out to Ron Unruly. Thank you for all of the super chats. So, Marques Houston, I was having a conversation with my wife, and I said, Rita, do you know why everything is messed up? I was about to say effed up. Everything is messed up in society today, in which marriage rates are down, the traditional way in which most families are gathered and put together with regard to how old the different people are when they get married are making sense, right? And she says, well, break it down for me. And so this is essentially what it is, right? And again, I'm opening it up for you guys to join in on the end of the show. I got time today so that we can have the conversation. This is how it works, right? For most situations, there was always a barrier to entry to what success looked like. There's always a barrier to entry to what success looks like, right? Success when it comes to being able to get a wife, have sex, have kids, success with regard to where you get hired and things like that. And traditionally, men had to measure up in order to get the woman that they wanted or to get the father to be able to agree to give his daughter over into the guy, right? You even had to, in a lot of instances, in a lot of cultures, pay. You had to pay a dowry. Right? Because the value and what it is that we see in women is much different than the value that women see in men, right? They see provision and protection. Men see an opportunity for them to surround themselves with somebody that's feminine, peaceful, and that can bear their children, okay? That can carry on their lineage and breed a lot of different people for them to continue to work and then carry on whatever it is that they built. Cool. So here's the difference between yesteryear and today. Traditionally, younger women would talk to older men because older men were generally established and shown and proved themselves to be worthy of having a wife or multiple wives. So you would generally see an older guy be more attractive for a younger woman that were not looking to have to try to survive in this cruel world. Now, we live in a modern society. Technology has made things different. You don't have to eat what you kill. Like yesterday, I did a video on what's going on in Europe and vacations, and you got all of these protections and provisions. And we live in a socialist society largely. However, However, women largely understood that they were the weaker vessel. Here's the difference between yesteryear and today. Now we have a conversation and we say, well, why would a man not want a woman his age? Why would a man not want a woman his age? Well, here's the key. When you have to build with somebody, women are largely playing Russian roulette because they don't know, regardless of whether or not you get them or whatever like that. Reading Super Chat shortly. Thank you, Grace. If you get a guy at 18, 19, 20, right? Just getting out of high school, going into college or whatever, just got the Similac off his breath, wet behind the ears. He may seem ambitious. Brains are not even fully developed. Women largely need father figures, and that's the whole symbolism behind passing your daughter when he walks down the aisle, and the father walks the daughter down the aisle, and it's from man to man because you got covering to covering. That's why you call it a groom. When you think about that, right, the idea is that a woman is playing Russian roulette. She's taking a chance that the man that she is going to marry at a young age, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, at some point is going to outgrow his childish ways and become a man. Most men don't even become or start to think about really becoming a man that he's supposed to be until he's closer into or well into his 30s. This is a fact. This is a fact. Most men don't really start to come into their own until they start to approach. Most, not all, start to approach or they're in their early 30s. And so a woman that gets a guy at a younger age is literally taking a chance, hoping that subconsciously this man becomes the man of her dreams. Shout out to Disney. The other side of the equation is that in yesteryear, women met the expectation, but they already met a man at the finish line and they knew exactly who he was. So today, people are marrying for love and not for purpose, which then changes the dynamics of what marriage is from a business perspective. And when given an option to choose for yourself, often at times people choose wrong. When given an option to choose for yourself, I'm giving you context behind before we even get into this video. When given an option to choose for yourself, often at times people choose wrong. And so that's why you start to see a lot more divorces. That's why you start to see people outgrow each other. That's why you start to see when people get into relationships young and then they're not compatible instead of looking at things from a business perspective. That's why you see people opening their legs before they get married, is because they have the option to do what they want to do instead of being guided by their elders and by the environment and society that is largely dictating that you need to pair together in order to be successful and even have kids or even be able to survive in this cold, cold world. Technology has made it easier for you to be able to skip steps and do the thing that's not traditional, but more or less modern. So now you have less people getting married, more people getting divorced, more people having children out of wedlock, people aligning themselves with each other based off of the fact that they are the same age. We are growing together. And then you have these conversations online where people say, well, if not, we're not building together. It's just the truth. If we're not building together, then what are you doing? So traditionally, men were already what they were going to be by the time that they decided that they wanted to get married, or by the time that they made themselves available for marriage. But then they chose somebody that they groomed, which is why you're called a bride and he's called a groom. A father was more able to easily identify the character of a man based off of the things that he's already built and he substantiated himself by, which was why it was much easier for a man to hand over his daughter's hand in marriage to a guy that was supposed to be a good guy. You knew a man by the fruits of his labor. But now everybody is saying, we doing it differently. We doing it completely different. And I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing, because in my opinion, my wife got lucky. She aligned herself with a dude that wound up becoming something, and then she benefited as a result of it. And so she rolled with that, right? But let's get into this Marques Houston video, because I have not watched the video yet. I've seen snippets. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Let's get into the video and let's kick it.
You know, I married a sister, and you know, she's beautiful and smart and talented, and she's caring and loving, and she's everything that I saw myself being in a relationship with.
Right.
And you know, when you look at a person's qualities, like I was talking to one of my friends, and I was saying, yeah, okay, I'm 41, right? She's 22.
He's 41 and she's 22. He's 41 and she's 22. Now, for me, because of the era in which I grew up in, even though I am familiar with history, that's wild. And I'm going to tell you why it's wild. Because me and Marques Houston is the same age. Marques Houston and I, just based off of age alone, are the same age. I am not even remotely interested in being around and having a conversation with a 22-year-old. That's me. It's nothing for me and her to talk about. We don't have nothing in common. And again, I'm a modern man, right? I live in modern times. All of us are modern because of the times that we live in. None of us existed back in the 19, 18, 17, 1600s, right? I cannot, me personally, I'm not about to sit and have a conversation with a 22-year-old. Not for a long time. Not for a long, I'm not. That's just me personally. He's 41, she's 22. But again, take into consideration the context that I gave you with regard to the history behind how men and women operated. Let's continue.
I could have married a 41-year-old woman, and it could have been disastrous. They could have felt like, you know, because I'll sit and talk to women, and women that are my age, and they kind of have a different outlook on life. You know, a lot of women my age are very independent. They are very like, you know, I don't need a man to do this for me because I could do this for myself. And I come from a generation that I'm very, very, you know, love to provide for my wife. I love to provide for my woman. And I'm very in that generation, like the old days, you know. I would never want to be with a woman that felt like, oh, I don't need you, or I don't, you know what I'm saying, like that. So, you know, and there's a lot of women my age. I've dated women my age, and, you know, they may have baggage, they may have kids, they may have not. You know, it's just there's so many different women that I've dated throughout my life, and this just so happened to be the one that caught my heart.
So, long story short, he's saying it's not necessarily that, because he did give his wife credit or whatever like that. I don't know who his wife is. I'm not interested in seeing who she is. I'm not interested in seeing what she looked like. That has no bearing on this conversation right now. What he's saying is more towards what the problem is in society today with modern women, with older women, versus what his preference is. Now, I'm going to make the live stream open for you guys to be able to cam up and say whatever it is that you want to say after we address this Melanie King situation, you know, in a minute. But what he's saying is, he says, listen, I don't want no independent woman. I don't want no woman that got something to say every single time that I walk through the door that's not peaceable. I don't want to deal with a woman that already have kids from a previous relationship, because I'm not looking to be a stepfather. I'm not looking to deal with a woman that got her neck on a chicken string. I'm not looking to deal with a woman that want to bring resources into the household and then have something to say every single time I say something. He said, my chick got a good attitude. She got a good head on her shoulders. She's very much a reflection of the thing that the women of yesteryears used to be like. And that's what he rolling with. Now, I don't know when he started talking to her. I don't know the history of Marques Houston. The only thing that I'm really familiar with Marques Houston is what was that group that they was in? Immature, and that song that he did that was fire. We be up in the with Joe Budden. We be up in the club. Uh-oh. Bing, 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 Boom, bing, 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 boom, bing, bing, boom. Uh-oh. Didn't R. Kelly write that song? Yeah, R. Kelly wrote this. This is getting worse and worse. Anyways, outside of that conversation, the point that I'm making is that he's saying that I'm not looking to deal with no modern woman. Flat out.
So what was your red flags like when you like dating throughout? I know you probably met like some of the most beautiful women in the world. What was some like red flags? Like, nope, you're out. Nope, like a red flag is like, I'm done. Next.
Red flag for me always if a woman had a kid. Nothing against.
Talk to him. Talk to him. Listen. I love you guys. I appreciate you. You know that I rock with people that got good character. But me personally, if I was single today, if you have a child already, I would never, ever even consider you. If you have a child already, he said it right off the bat. He didn't even stutter. He said, oh, listen, first red flag for me is a woman with kids. I know y'all think y'all just as valuable as women that don't have kids, but I'm trying to tell you that is a bad deal for any man. Respect to the men that go out and marry a woman that already got kids. I don't care what you say. Me personally, I would not, and I would never advise another man. I would never advise another man to go and take care of another man's kids. God bless you, ladies, if you're able to get one. And I'm not stopping you. You can do whatever it is that you want to do, but I would never advise a man to go and talk to a woman that already has kids. That is not my fight. God has not has not put that on my heart as a blessing. That's just me personally.
It's single women, single mothers with children. I respect them. I love them. I feel like that's one of the toughest jobs, to raise a child and to also raise a child by yourself and to be a woman. 100% tip my hat, respect to the women that are raising children on their own. But just with me, for when I grew up, I never really wanted kids. And,
he just like me. When I grew up, I never even wanted kids either. I never wanted kids either.
I would talk to my dad a lot, and he would always tell me, look, have your own kids, because you never want to have, you don't know what the baby daddy's about.
Facts.
So, if you're going to have kids, make sure as a woman that they never had kids before, and you can have your own. So I kind of like stuck to that. So that was always my red flag. But then that's a personal choice.
Right.
That was my personal red flag. And a woman with an attitude.
Woo.
I don't like women with attitudes, with funky attitudes that, and, my wife is complete opposite of that. She's so.
He said, and I don't like women with funky attitudes. Check and check. I see nothing wrong with what it is that he's saying. Now, again, I don't know the details of what his personal situation is. I don't know what his wife is. I don't know when he met her and all of that. That's an entirely different conversation, and maybe y'all can educate me, ladies, when y'all decide that y'all want to come up on a panel today. I am going to be opening it up to the general public, but attitude and already got kids and a baby daddy, and I got to sit here and negotiate with this dude? No way, no how. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to get to this Melanie King situation, and then I'm going to bring y'all up. Grace says, good morning, Anton. When are you planning to organize a meetup for the Bag Chasers in Huntsville, Alabama, or Nashville, Tennessee? This summer. Oh, it's coming. Me and Q and Rita, we was talking last night, and we were already talking about the next date that we were going to do the Patreon meetup for June. So we got June, July, August, September, October, and we're going to be in a different city every single month, all right? So shout out to you, Grace. I appreciate you for the fireball. Also, Bella is in the building, so you were saying women shouldn't build with men. No. I don't think that women should build with certain types of men. I think that there are different types of men that need different things, that meet different women in their life. Often at times when you get a guy like me, so let's just say me, right? Let's use me as an example. I am 41 years old. I'm built. I'm already built everything. I have money. I got resources. I have everything that I need. I don't need a woman to build with me, right? Now, let's say you meet a guy and he's 21 years old, because we do live in a modern society. That's a completely different conversation. Yes, you can build with that guy. 100% you can build with him. But as a person that is a 40-plus-year-old man, I don't need any woman to build with me. I don't need anything from a woman. I don't need a resource from a woman. I don't need any of that, right? The only thing I need is maybe I should take myself out of it. But it just depends on when you find a guy and at what state he is in his life. So it just depends. Zotang TV in the building says MTR got a crazy resume. I can't lie. Melanie Monaco and Melanie Melly Monaco and Melly. He loves these Mellies, don't he? Melanie King, homie, is on track for the Hall of Fame. We're going to talk about it. Jeremy H says, Anton, you ain't seen you got served. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Quinn is in the building, says, I'll be the one hiding behind the pole in Dallas. Not on the pole. Not on the pole. I'm already tainted. I don't like younger women. I like women around my age. I agree 100% with Marques Houston. I'm 40 and I typically date younger women. I feel you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Listen, as long as she is of legal age, I don't have a preference for when I see younger women, when I see women in their 20s and 21, 22, 20, 23 years old, they look like children to me. They just look like children to me. Like, it don't matter how bad her body is or none of that. I just be like, oh, like that's a little child to me. They look like children to me. So I can imagine. I just can't. I can't. All right, let's get into the thick of things, ladies and gentlemen. This is what y'all really wanted to talk about. So let me get out my timestamps that y'all have provided me with. Let's get into this video. All right, so Melanie King and MTR. I'm going to be dropping a link in the chat for y'all to be able to cam up. But let me scrub through this a little bit because I have not seen the majority of this video. Just Jay talking says, we become the bad guy when we have preferences. Oh, it don't matter if you're the bad guy or not. The only thing that matters is what it is that you think. I'll be the bad guy my whole life, but I ain't sacrificing on what it is that I want for anybody. All right. Let's get into this. This is interesting. So apparently we need to fast forward.
Look, they got us on live.
First, let me give a shout out to MTR for having a hell of a year. Let me give a shout out to MTR for having a hell of a year, right? MTR, if anything, let's just say hypothetically that MTR is not busting down any of these chicks. Let's say hypothetically that MTR is not busting down any of these chicks, right? I would say that MTR is having a hell of a year and being able to market himself accordingly. So I'm going to be reading super chats throughout the show. Let me fast forward to this first timestamp at 2:16.
What is it?
This is a dare.
Well, go ahead and read it for you.
You read it.
All right, this is what Mel. That's what you wrote down? What does it say? What does it say?
He wrote that, guys, and he's pretending. They can't see it because you wrote it. And your handwriting looks like scribble scrap.
Take your shirt off.
All right, take your shirt off.
That was yours.
No, that's yours. Take your shirt off.
Are you going to drink?
No, it's yours. Take your shirt off.
That was yours.
No.
Choosing signals. Choosing signals, y'all. These are choosing signals. Now, it's a few thoughts that I may have, but I'm going to reserve them. And I just want to see what the hell is happening right now because I have not watched this live. I've only seen one small, maybe 45-second clip. But if this was this live? They did this live? Let's see how he handles this.
I get to dictate take your shirt off.
I want to see how you gonna avoid this.
So you drank? You not gonna get down to the skivvies?
Y'all want me to take my shirt off? Y'all want me to? Somebody super chat $5,000. I'll do it.
I ain't never given no chick 5,000, 5 bands for taking your shirt off. I ain't giving a chick $500 for taking your shirt off. I am not giving a chick $50. Yo. I come from Detroit, man. I'm in a whole nother space in my life. I come from Detroit. We don't believe in tricking like that. Not like that. Mm-mm. We don't pay you to come. We pay you to leave. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving you $5 to take your shirt off, yo. But I see how he dodged that. He just didn't even. He looking like a deer in headlights right now, but he holding it down. He holding it down. All right, let's see what these other timestamps is talking about. Well, it's a lot of timestamps. Okay, hold on.
Maybe more.
Look at the fucking chat.
Low. That's kind of low.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm real grown. I'm real grown. Like grown. Like adult woman.
Not acting like it. You certainly are not acting like it right now.
Yo, the chat is going off. All right, mine is, what's your body count?
You lost count.
I have no idea.
Give an estimate. Give an estimate. I got yours, you got mine. What do you think? What's your body count? Give a rough estimate.
MTR
I have no idea.
But give a number that you can think of.
Since high school?
Since you've been getting it in. Since you first.
I don't really know if MTR realized what he was getting himself into. Honestly, I don't really know if he realized that what he was getting himself into. Did I say that? Did I say the F word? No, I didn't. No, I did not. I did not say it. I did not say the F word. I said I acted like I was going to say the F word. I did not say the F word. Y'all can't hold me accountable for that because I did not say the F word. Hey, Q, find out if I said the F word for me, and then, oh, no, I didn't, Q. She said I cursed. All right, Q, I don't think I cursed. I said, fuck, I didn't curse. Lacey caught me. Shoot. All right, Lacey, I didn't curse. All right, listen, I'm going to just go ahead and be nice. Q, get Lacey's, if you can, get Lacey's Cash App, and I will Cash App. I didn't curse. I didn't say it. I did not say it. I'm not going to let y'all hold me accountable for saying something that I did not finish saying. Q, get Lacey's Cash App. I'll send you $20. All right, come on. Come on, y'all. Let's continue.
Shout out to Steph is cold.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a Steph is cold moment.
What I was trying to do. It was terrible.
Till she boxed. Shout out to
It's
Steph.
so funny with that. I love it. Because I'm like, ew. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh. And I was like, this is kind of funny.
Oh, shout out to Steph. I be putting them in memes.
Hey, MTR is dodging this like a well-oiled PR machine. He ain't answering no questions. He ain't taking no shirts off. He ain't doing none of that. MTR is avoiding this like crazy. Now, I don't know if he's avoiding this based off of the fact that He's just good at avoiding it, but I don't know. I don't know if he's nervous. He don't seem nervous. He seemed like a normal guy. All right, so let me see if I can fast forward this a little bit.
All the goddamn time. That shit is hilarious. Shout out to Jamal Smith.
Reading super chat shortly.
Say you guys are gonna be on this like white on rice in a glass of milk on paper plate in a snowstorm. Shout out to Jamal Smith for the $20 super chat. And shout out to my bro O'Shea Duke Jackson, my brother. All right. Did I tell you that there was another Hood Booger song?
No.
I got multiple.
Look at you. What the?
Too many.
That. And Kevin was like, Kevin checked him, checked him hard. Like hard. I was like, Jesus. I just stood back and I was like, let Kevin do his thing. But like most of it was his birthday. Other dudes who
Jamal Smith for the $20 super chat. And shout out to my bro O'Shea Duke Jackson, my brother.
Happened? Hold on.
All right.
I was about to
did I
scroll
tell you
through.
that there was another Hood Booger song?
No.
I got multiple.
Look at you. What the?
Oh, hey, get it poppin'. Get it. Hey, nice.
Okay.
Hey,
That's it.
she's
That's it.
good.
That's it.
She's good.
You know what I realized? People who watch us on YouTube, they don't think we're humans. They don't think we're real
Like we
people.
just like, yeah.
Like we're just.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This is not a good look, in my opinion. It's not a good look for her. It's a phenomenal look for him because he's playing this beautifully. He is playing this. MTR is playing this beautifully. This is not. This ain't a good look for her. You will never ever be able to live this down. This is never going away. So now how can you sit here and hold women accountable? How can you sit here and talk about, like, if we just gonna keep it 100, how can you sit here and talk about what women should do or how they should operate around certain men or whatever like that when you get around y'all saying she a chameleon? No. This is not a good look. Hold on. Let me see if I can fast forward a little bit.
Just sitting up here and this is what we do. And we have these, y'all, we just.
She's trying to humanize herself now.
Having a good, y'all, I turn up, I have a good time. You see me out, look.
We see.
Come holler at me because I'm having a good time.
How often do you get people that come up to you and say what up?
All the time.
Really?
All the time.
You gonna get more when you in the DMV area. You gonna get a lot more.
But it's always respect. Like men,
Yeah.
like women who talk about men are creeps, men are this, men are that. Wait, I need to see the mixing.
Wait, so it's your turn or my
It's
turn?
your turn.
All right, so then mix them and then let me get in there.
We're almost done, guys. So I can go to bed.
There's a lot still left in this bitch. Hold on. What is this one?
I don't know. I'm scared.
How much money would you need to make to quit YouTube? Holy shit, that is a question. Let me go to the bottom of the chat. Daily, sometimes tri-daily content, upload speed that I put myself on is really not, it's not manageable by normal people. It's really not. It's really not. It's difficult as hell. At least in my current like structure of how I push out content.
Yeah.
So if I had infinite money, I would probably just I'd still do content because I still get the emails of dudes telling me how much that like thank you so much, you've changed my life, da da da.
What did I just do to my hair? I'm sorry. I just keep talking.
That's
I
that
did something weird.
Is that
I think
that
it's
ADHD?
No, I think it's the sauce. Like it's been a lot today.
However, yeah, I think that it would, I wouldn't quit. However, I'd upload a lot less if I had infinite money.
How much money though? What may turn you into that? How much money? How much money do you want to have saved? Taxes paid is just your money sitting.
If I had $10 million sitting in the bank right now, I'd probably upload once per week.
Okay, what would you do at 20 million?
Same thing.
100 million.
Same thing, once per week.
You wouldn't abandon?
I don't think so, no.
I know it's like passionate, like you enjoy it.
No, yeah,
I
because
enjoy it too, guys. I enjoy it. Attacking to other women, and not all, because I actually have some good women, some good young women, guys. I'm hopefully starting a dating show where I bring on young women who have the right mindset that I've vetted.
Don't you have to be married specifically in order to be able to? I don't know.
And it was just surprising to me because everything he said, was gospel truth. And he was trying to help and having personal conversations with him. I remember us having a conversation and like sitting and him and I and talking, and I told my parents, because I always talk to my parents about any men that I know. Like, I'm very open with them, just because they are my counterbalance, and they're very, like, my parents. Yeah, I probably want to hang with my parents.
She drunk. She drunk.
They weren't always like this. Now they're like this. But I told them, I said, you know, Kevin, I felt like I was talking to Malcolm X. When he shared his vision and what he wanted and what he was going to do, I just said, my goodness, like, his vision is so, like, scary because it's so needed. And so I had the utmost, working with him, it was just magical in terms for me, because I felt like I was, like, that's why I took his death so difficult, because I felt like Malcolm X died. So anybody can say what they want. You think I'm capping? You can think I'm capping all you want, but I felt for me that, like, a person who sitting with him, and none of y'all have actually heard his full vision.
Who the fuck is spamming in the there's one nigga spamming in the chat. Hold on, let me get rid of this nigga.
Is this a hoe? Boy, he met his bussy. His bussy ain't filled tonight.
Can I?
Oh, man. Oh, man. This sounds like it's going off the rails.
Can I tell them?
Can one of y'all hit his bussy? Because he's desperate.
No minds
he's
in the
desperate.
Chat. Listen.
That's usually what happens when women start feeling a certain type of way. When the audience is not really rolling with them, they start going to insults. All right.
Listen. Can I tell you why I was displeased with you? Can I tell them?
He was mad at me when I made my video.
Hold up. The first time that we had a conversation.
Yes, we talked about it.
We talked about it because I said there's something that I had a particular issue with you is that when
I'm about to drop the link in the chat for y'all to be able to come up here.
Not found. And you went live. Yeah. But we weren't I mean, I've only met you.
We didn't know each other.
No, we didn't know each other at all. And I think Kevin had certain people that he would reach out to. Mm-hmm. And Kevin would mention you. And I'm sure with you, Kevin would mention me. But, like, we had never, talked or anything like that. Yeah. And I think when you went live and where we could not find him, at the time, not knowing you and then him saying, positive things about you, it made me upset at you, and I kept it funky with you when we talked the first time. That I was upset with you because in my mind, like, I did not know where he was, and I was calling him. It was no call back. You know what I'm saying? But but it fucked me up knowing being Kevin's friend and everything like that, because I would not have wanted that to be public if it was me. Mm-hmm. You understand? So, like,
yeah, a lot of people had a lot of, hey, time out anybody that's we got our own thing going over here. We not worried about what's happening over there. Time out anybody that's trying to get people to go to other channels. We don't do that shit over here, all right? Anybody, mods, deal with that shit accordingly.
So I don't know. Things happen at certain times, and they just happen, and we.
Dang! I cursed again. All right. What is that? $40, $60 or something like that? Y'all throwing me off. No, Q, monitor the people that's calling out. We'll send them their cash apps afterwards. Get their cash apps.
We just do them, and then it just is what it is at that particular junction. But at the same time, right, like
it's not how you would handle it.
It's not how I would handle it, like at all. Yeah.
And
but you are a woman with emotions.
I am very. If I love you, I loved Kevin. I loved him with all my heart, like not in a romantic way, but to me, I was protecting Malcolm X, Martin Luther King.
Why does she keep saying Malcolm X, Martin Luther King? I don't understand it. I don't understand the whole Malcolm X, Martin Luther King part.
JFK. Like, I felt like I was because when I found out people were celebrating his death, I thought it was fake news. And for me,
I'm more interested in finding out how she found out. Because I know how I found out, right? I know exactly how I found out. And I've never actually revealed how I confirmed everything happened the way that it happened when it happened. But I'm more interested in how she found out and why she felt so comfortable going live immediately. And this is not a criticism. This is just an observation. Why she felt comfortable going live immediately when she found out that Kevin passed.
I know if I was in isolation trying to call people or figure out, I couldn't. So I thought, okay, this community over here is celebrating his death. And I'm like, Kevin's not dead. Y'all are crazy. Like, this is fake news, feminists trying to come against him. So what I thought was, okay, community who loves him, who supports Kevin, let's find out what we can find out so we can dispel this fake news. That's how it started. Because I was on another live stream. I was doing another live stream and somebody was talking about Kevin is dead.
Thanks, Q.
And it was a shock to myself. I was just with him on his birthday. We just talked. And him and I were in a beef at the time. I'm not going to go into it.
She said they was beefing?
It. But we were kind of like at a like trying. He was trying to push me into a direction I was not ready to go in. So I was like, whatever. That day I got a text from Kevin.
That's not good. That's not good.
Sorry, not that day. The day before, the night before. I got.
I talked to him the night before too.
Right. So to hear Kevin is dead, I didn't care what none of y'all thought. I didn't give a good goddamn. Y'all can hate me to the depths of hell. When it's my people, when it's you and I love you and I ride for you, I'm going to go to the goddamn depths of earth to fight for you and get the truth out. I don't give a if you are falsely accused, whatever it is, people rumors, I'm going to fight.
I can't debate because you can't tell somebody how to feel when somebody passes away. All right? You can't tell somebody how to feel when somebody passes away. So I'm not criticizing her at all for going live as a result of it. People can feel. Hey, Brock sent me a fireball on Cash App and say F your feelings. You're going to have to send me at least a 20 if you want me to say F your feelings when I got to give it out. Shout out to you for the Cash App. You can't tell somebody how to feel, right? And we can disagree with her. We can disagree with the way she did it. We disagree with a lot of that, but I can't sit here and criticize her, and I never have. I can't sit here and criticize her for the way that she felt was necessary to deal with the news and the way she got it. Now, I'm assuming based off of what she's saying is that she's basically saying, yo, the way that I found out was by going live and having a conversation with a lot of different people online. I was typing in the chat. Somebody said, were they at the funeral? I was at the funeral. I was invited to the funeral. And so I came to the funeral. The only people that I personally seen at the funeral, I've never actually talked about this, I don't think. Maybe I have, I don't know. The only people that I seen, because it was supposed to be a very intimate, not public. Of course, we all know that once it got out where it was, once you was already there and people was live streaming it and stuff like that. It was supposed to be a small memorial in his hometown, and they only invited family and close personal friends, right? I seen Jeff Liscombe there, who is his best friend. I seen MTR was there. I had a conversation with Mediocre Tutorial and Reviews, and a lead attorney was there. Okay, these are the only people, and I had conversations with the family, everything. I seen Jeff, the people that I recognize personally. I seen Jeff, which is his best friend, and we still have conversations today. I seen MTR, and I seen a lead attorney. Right, I talked to MTR and a lead attorney together. After you walk out and you see MTR and lead attorney was together. All right, they weren't together like, came together or whatever. That lead attorney actually was there, and MTR was there. Those are the people that I seen at the funeral. I seen MTR, and as far as YouTubers, and I seen the lead attorney, and I talked to the lead attorney, and I talked to MTR, and those are the people that I seen at the funeral. Okay, so I don't know about all of the rest of the stuff. Who could make it? Who couldn't make it? Who was there? And all of that other type of stuff. But those are the people that I seen at the funeral personally.
And I don't care what nobody thinks about it. And I understand people didn't have that perspective of me. People didn't even know I knew Kevin like that. Or that I was at his birthday. The videos, we never planned to talk about that. Me and Dennis Sperling, I was with Dennis Sperling, his fiance, his woman. We never planned to ever talk or put this footage out or even talk about it. And we had plans, we were planning stuff and conferences and things.
I was playing shit with him too. But what we talked about in our first conversation was
I'm about to drop the link shortly.
The live thing.
I couldn't help it. I was panicked. I'm sorry. If I love you, if you right now, people are seeing something happen to you or you did something, I would go live fighting these hoes. I don't care. The people who love you, I say, call in. Y'all, we're going to fight. We're going to get to the truth. We're not going to let these hoes on Twitter.
If something happened to me, fight the hoes behind the scene. Don't do it live.
You don't want me to do it live?
I don't want you to do it live.
Okay, I won't do it live. But I asked his mother, do you want me to take it down? She said no. Okay. She said, I love, because his mother, I was hearing all these people celebrating my son's death.
Shout out to Kevin's mom. Shout out to Kevin's daughter.
You were live trying to find my son. You were trying to find the truth about my son. And I was like, I'll take it down. I didn't take no super chats. I said, delete all that. But she told me.
I thought she had got super chats. I don't know. I don't know if she had got super chats or not. I don't know how you return super chats if you did get super chats. I don't know if it's wrong for her to get super chats during the live stream. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just a weird situation. That's a situation that I just didn't want to. I had made this decision that I was just like, nah, I'm cool. It was just a very, very bad time. It was bad timing. I don't even want to talk about it again. But
She said that it was okay. She said that that's his legacy.
R.I.P. to GOAT.
Somebody who was fighting for him in real time when I didn't even know what was happening with my son. And I said, that's a mother. And I think because I am a mother, I react differently than a normal person, like a regular person would, because I'm going to fight day and night until I find the truth and find justice for whatever's going on. But it's even hard to this day. I still don't understand I still don't know.
It's probably to me it's the second hardest thing I have to go through publicly. The first hardest thing was me going through cancer. Second hardest thing was that shit. Because especially I have a small family. I'm not used to dealing with loss like that. And you know, it's just, it's so weird, like even at this time, like, you know, especially like being a content creator, and you know, the more as you do this, and like Kevin would call me damn near every day, and we would just be busting it up. He'd be like, hey man, like I remember he would just call me, hey man, what's up? What you got going on? What you getting to this weekend? Like that's what he would just say, and we would just like talk about like all of these different things. And
Let me see something.
you know, it's
I'm gonna fast forward this
you
a little
know,
bit.
funeral.
I can't.
Hold on, let me rewind it.
Funeral. Of the humanity, the human being
crying?
that you actually are, you know. But yeah, no, of
she
the
crying?
humanity, the human person.
Fast forward, rewind it.
Was so fucking weird. It's so goddamn odd, you know. And I actually like, you know, at some point I sent something to YouTube like, yo, y'all gotta have like a tutorial about what happens when you gain fame and notoriety. You know, because like this shit is so weird. This shit is so.
This is wild, yo. This is wild, yo. She's crying.
Unnatural.
You
It's so
said she
not
what?
normal how people treat you.
Hold on.
You know, irrespective of the humanity, the human being that you actually are, you know. But you know, I had so many people, like, even though I was there at the funeral, I had so many people talking about, why were you not at the funeral?
I can't see that man in his casket.
I can't fault somebody for saying that they did not want to go to the funeral. I cannot hold somebody accountable. I don't know if I don't know what her situation was. I don't know what it is. I don't know, you know, whatever, right? I can never fault somebody for saying that they didn't want to go to the funeral, okay? Because different people grieve differently. People grieve differently. Sometimes people want to remember you a certain type of way, and they don't want the last memory that they have in their head to be seeing you there, right? So I can't fault her for that. If she says out of her mouth, listen, I can't see him in a casket, there's no way that I can sit here and hold somebody accountable for that, okay? It's a lot of people that grieve differently. I'm about to drop the link shortly.
I'm sorry. Let's move on to the next thing. I want to talk about Kevin no more.
Should we even keep on finishing, or this should be the?
All right, no, I can refresh. Ooh. We just can't talk about Kevin no more. Like his funeral, I can't talk about that. I cannot talk about that. Oh Jesus. Okay. I didn't have to twerk it out.
You about to twerk it out?
I gotta twerk it out.
Wait, hold on. You about to twerk?
I gotta be a body.
Well, hold on. Oh.
I got.
What the hell am I watching right now? Hold on. One God, I'm not gonna beep minute.
Like get rid of the Kevin in me.
Like just.
We just can't talk about Kevin no more. Like his funeral, I can't talk about that. I cannot.
What are we watching?
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Hold on.
I didn't have to twerk it out.
You about to twerk it out?
I gotta twerk it out.
Dog, this is like the most awkward thing that I've seen in my entire life on the internet right now. This has got to be like the wildest thing. I was just defending her. I was literally just defending her. No, she didn't just get up on a live stream and start twerking. Dog.
Well, are you about to do?
I gotta be a boss.
Well, oh.
I'm going to give preference to the ladies. I think that that's time for me to go ahead and drop the link in the description. Thank you to everybody that sent me. I'm about to read Super Chat shortly, and then I'm about to bring y'all up. That's why. This is wild. This is wild. Twerking it out over Kevin Samuels? Ladies, I'm giving y'all preference to be able to come up and give y'all thoughts. Y'all can talk about Marques Houston. Y'all can talk about this situation. You can hold anybody, if you want to hold me accountable, feel free to do so. I'm going to rotate people out. Give me y'all thoughts. This is insane. Have good lighting, please. I'm about to read Super Chats. This is wild, yo. This is crazy. Rickster says, I agree with Marques Houston. I'm 32 and I'm only dating 23 and older is definitely less headache and more peaceful. Shout out to Rickster in the building. Jeremy H says, Lizzo said she is the beauty standard for black women, which means you need to add 4 to 5 Big Macs to Rita's diet. Nope. Rita is slim, trim, and curvy. Big M Dub said, you said, shh. Freedom, Plan, Truth, or Dare. How old are they? The F? Agreed. Y'all trying to get me to cuss on the low. Machine 2 says she Jesus Christ. D Blake is in the building, says Melanie is Queen Chameleon. As soon as she started doing live streams, she exposed herself. Glad everyone is finally catching on. This is wild. This is absolutely insane. Let me get Q up here. This is wild. I'm not sure what to think anymore, bro. I'm not sure what to think anymore. What up, Quinn?
What up, boss?
This is wild.
Man, you know I love me some Melanie, bro.
Yeah, I know you love some Melanie. Man, okay, so give me your thoughts. Well, first let me finish reading some of these. Well, I'll read the Super Chats in a second. Go ahead, give me your thoughts.
Like you said, death is different, man. Everybody take it different, and
Are you simping?
I am. I'm sipping, I'm caping, I'm doing it all. I saw the live stream that when she found out, and she was you can say she was in denial, and she's trying to find it out, and she was calling people. I think she got a text message, and she's like, "It's not true, it's not true." And then I think somebody called her, and she's like, "It's true, guys." I guess it was somebody official, maybe.
By the time I said anything online, I knew exactly what was going on. I knew for a fact what was happening.
Yeah.
I knew for a fact what was happening. What you think about this twerking, bro?
It's not cute. Like, given what she says about women online and how they should conduct themselves, and I don't think it looks good. I think like this is just me. Like something's like she disappeared like 6 months last year, and given some
what?
things.
Why did she disappear?
Well, some stuff. I think stuff in her past came out, and it's like I'm hearing it now, and then I'm realizing what happened
Some of
last
the stuff in her past came out. What does that mean?
As far as her personal life, and she kind of just disappeared off the internet.
Say what now?
Yeah, like after that, there was a Chinese dude who came on our live stream and started asking her questions, and after that, she like deleted her page. She took stuff down, and she kind of disappeared for a couple. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then when she came back, she was like, "I'm sorry."
Are you sure, Quentin?
Yeah, she was like, "I'm sorry. I was going through some stuff. I'm back now. I figured it out." And now she making her rounds. But she was on Cam Newton had a podcast with her and Six on it last night.
With her and who?
Six. Her and Six was on a podcast with Cam Newton last night.
On a live stream?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Talking about what?
Just Cam. I don't know if you ever watched. He just had random ass relationship questions.
He was on YouTube?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Man,
I heard it was some I'm unfamiliar. On the low, I heard that that Six did a live stream and she mentioned my name.
Man, it's tough for me because man, you're my guy, Q's my guy, I like TLA, I like Melanie, and it just be niggas out here talking shit. Like they don't even have no content.
No. I heard that like specifically said stuff about me. Is that I'm just trying to figure out if it's true or not.
On her live stream or on?
Maybe not. Maybe I'm because I'm unfamiliar. I might be off. Anybody is more than willing to be able to come up and say whatever it is they want to say. People better leave me alone. That's all I'm gonna say. People better leave me alone, man.
Q want to kick me off. She don't like me simping for Melanie.
Why are you simping for? I've never actually had a conversation with her, I don't think.
Man, she's a woman, and I seen the way that people were talking to her last night, and I was like, that's rude as fuck, just off the rip.
You seen the way people was talking to who?
Melanie. She went on some dude's show last night. He was calling them bitches and hoes and stuff. I ain't giving nobody no money, so
yeah, we don't champion none of these people. Loud, yes, you should be on camera. Here, I'm about to put you in a smaller box so I can pull everybody else up. Give me a second. I'm about to pull Quentin up out here in these streets. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, but what was happening? You said what was going on now?
Oh, she was just calling women bitches and hoes and just degrading. That's a bad look in general for men. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't really care about what other people doing, to be honest with you, bro. Like, I'm just gonna try to stay above it. I'm gonna try my damnness to stay above it, bro.
I can't see how y'all out here, man. Y'all niggas be coming for y'all's heads.
You can't see who out here. Me?
Any of y'all.
What do you mean?
They be coming for y'all's head with some nonsense.
What, you can't see how we on the internet in general?
Well, some of y'all, yes. I get it. Just it don't phase y'all. Y'all just kind of rub it off. But I'm like, man.
What's up, Truth? What's up, Mr. Alignment? What's your thoughts?
What's going on? I let Mr. Alignment talk
Who's
first
on?
and I come back.
Say what now?
Yeah, you can hear me, Anton?
I can hear you.
So you can hear
Q,
So,
get that
I'm
cuss
trying to
word.
figure
I
out-
shouldn't have even did this whole cursing thing. Go ahead, Q. I mean, go ahead. What is that, Mr. Truth? Go ahead.
Okay, well, I speak. I was going to let the other gentleman speak first. Can you hear me clearly?
We can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the chat, man. Appreciate you for bringing me up, man. Look, I just wanted to speak. I like how the young brother that just came in, as he was speaking about how if the other brother can mute his microphone with headphones.
Yeah, hey,
on,
if
bro,
y'all
you
not
got a lot of
talking, do me a favor and mute for me, y'all. Go ahead, bro.
Bro, here. I'm gonna keep talking. Well, either which way though, man. Like the brother was saying, I respect all the people that's trying to help us, whether it's the manosphere and whatever they can bring to the table on social media. I really appreciate it. But yeah, Melanie is exposing herself to be a hypocrite, man. And unfortunately, paperwork has come out that she actually stole her kid's YouTube channel and took the kid's YouTube channel and made her own YouTube channel. So it's actually real law paperwork that shows that she was not sued. Her husband actually went to court to be able to because she stole $120,000+ from the family business account. So it's a channel called Melico. I think it was called Melico, and they made a business entity. Her and the husband owned it, and they were supposed to be the fiduciaries. And Melanie King actually took her fiduciary responsibility and mishandled the business. You know what I'm saying? So people who know what real law is and what it means to be able to be over someone's account, whether it's a trust account or a real estate account of these nature, when you supposed to be the fiduciary and you're supposed to be working for the purpose of the beneficiary, you're not supposed to do things in your personal interest. So now it's becoming exposed that she again.
You can't believe all of that though. It's context behind that, right?
Well, I'm not saying it's not not context. I'm just saying what the real law paperwork says. So I'm not speaking on what a person's opinion can be. This I'm not speaking even on her personal relationship with the man.
Well, you said she
All
was
I'm saying,
exposed. So if you, I mean, you know,
Allegedly.
well,
I
that's why
can't, I
say
can't.
if
You
I mean,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you an example, right?
allegedly, yeah.
I got sued by Ford Motor Company for not paying off whatever additional work that they had to do when I turned in a lease on my Mustang, right? It was like a couple $100s. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you turn in your car, you turn in your lease, and if they got to do any work, like a rim is scratched or something like that, it was like you know, a couple $100s or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Anybody can pull that up and say, "Well, look, Anton owed Ford Motor Company money," but it didn't matter.
But
you know
what
what
if
I'm saying?
the what if the? But let me
I
ask you
think
this: if the
that
court
but hold
case,
on. I think that the
my bad.
context, right? And I don't know Melanie King personally, right? But I think that the context is that it might be a little bit more to that than just what you
Correct.
see on the surface, right? So any guy, a girl can go and say that a guy is a deadbeat father because he didn't pay child support, when in reality he might have been taking care of her the whole time, but he was doing it under the table instead of doing, you know what I'm saying? So you can't
And
really
that's why I
use
say
just that in order to try to say that she was exposed for anything.
And what I said is I said she was a hypocrite. And the reason why I said that is because when you see, like I say, in court, when we know court, once your paperwork is finalized and it's pushed all the way through the court and you've been deemed whether guilty, not guilty, you're ordered by the courts to pay this.
So
And pay
she was deemed guilty?
Yeah, she was deemed to, not saying guilty because it wasn't like again they were bringing criminal charges about it, but she did have to settle. So she settled the court case. So when you do read all the way through the paperwork, they did settle in the court and things of this nature. So it actually was finalized and stuff. So she has finalized paperwork. And one major thing is when she took over the kids' channel, I think it had probably about 700,000 followers. The main thing that I want to say is when she switched over into the manosphere content, she still had at least 80 to 90% following of kids that are 13
but how do we know that that's the same channel though?
And that's why you have to, the paperwork is, I can come back and put the channel in the chat, but the channel that actually brought the paperwork forward to where we can actually go bring the paperwork up ourselves, it is there to where like,
I'm not, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. Me personally, I'm just going by what it is y'all saying. So these are the conversation that we saying, but it don't mean nothing to me. Because I mean, that wasn't even, that's not, if I create a YouTube channel for my daughter, that's my channel. I'm gonna be honest with you. I created that channel.
Correct.
Anything that I create for my kids is mine if they are minors. I am the one that is overseeing what's going on with that channel.
Correct.
Now, I don't know the context or anything like that, but if I buy my daughter a car at 15 right now, that's my car. That's in my name. It's in my name.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of hard to.
Well, let me ask you this, and that's why I say, if you say you started as a man and you had a daughter, you started a dance company for your daughter, right? And all of a sudden you removed your daughter out of the dance company, but you changed the dance company to something that would be way more mature, but you still had an audience, or you maybe had people pouring into that same business, but they didn't know the full context of where you were taking your channel to. So let me say this. You didn't say discretion advised, y'all. I'm not doing this with my kids anymore. You just jumped from one thing to the next without giving context to the people who are following you. I think that's when they call it either the grifting or not necessarily the grifting.
I mean, yeah, we got to listen. I'm all for holding people accountable based off of what it is that they present online. All I'm saying is we don't know the context, especially when you're talking about a divorce.
Right. But I'm
I don't know if that was, I don't know if the kids' channel got transferred over in her channel. I don't know we don't know.
Correct.
So it's hard to hold somebody accountable based off of speculation versus actually having a context in order to make an informed decision.
And that's why I think that court paperwork is beautiful, man, because it's 37 pages of the court documents. Bro,
you read through 37 pages of the court documents?
We got at least about 25 pages, bro. So that's why
wait. You read the 25 pages of the court documents?
Bro, they read the counts that she was charged with. They read what the whole case was.
It's a final verdict.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I say it's.
Can I say something?
This is wild, bro.
This is
why did you read the 25? Why did you read through 25 pages of the court documents?
I'll be honest, I'm just throwed
Yeah, I
off.
mean, I don't know what been going on, manosphere. God damn, bro.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry, man. You breaking up. You breaking up. You breaking up real bad. 145.
You can hear me at time?
Yeah, you just real broke up. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, y'all. I don't know what happened to my man's, but go ahead, Xavier.
I was just saying, like, just to give some like context, I was lost by this is my first time seeing her out and everything, and being on that live chat with homie, and then the whole twerking for Kevin Samuels definitely threw me off because that's totally backwards to what Kevin stood for. So I really don't get that.
Interesting. I don't know. It's difficult because everybody got their own personalities. You know what I'm saying? Because like Kev may have rocked with somebody, but he may have rocked with him for things outside of content creation. You know what I'm saying, or whatever, right? A lot of people knew Kev in real life, and a lot of the conversations that he was having with people may not have necessarily been anything that had anything to do with being online, right? It was people that rocked with or that Kev rocked with in the beginning,
right?
That he no longer rocked with, much later in his journey. You know what I'm saying? They might have went two separate ways as a result of it. So, we kind of got to take some things with a grain of salt because we don't know why certain things are happening the way that it happened. We just kind of got to play it by ear from there. You know what I'm saying? So, what's up, Melephant?
Hello. Hi, Anton. Thank you for having me
Absolutely.
up on your live stream.
What's your thoughts?
Just watching the video, I don't want to make too much of a judgment of Melanie King as a person because I don't know her, and I feel like everything that's online, you can never really tell like what's real and what isn't. But I think that the fact that there was alcohol involved can definitely change things, and you can kind of lose your judgment. Seeing the clip, because I haven't seen that actual video, it was definitely very cringy because it doesn't go with the brand that Melanie King has made for herself. I've seen a couple of her videos. I've seen her
What do
on
you think
Lapis.
her brand is? What do you think her brand is?
Well, she's definitely part of the manosphere. So there's a lot of talk about what gender roles should be, what a man should do, what a woman should do. And, I feel like in a lot of these conversations, people sometimes can be disingenuous and just kind of hit the same talking points. But when it comes to personal life, you're not living that. And so, it could come out in different ways. And I think in a live stream, it's easier for those kind of things to pop up. I would have never expected her to start twerking after talking about
Yeah, that was
Samuel's
wild.
death.
That
Like
was
that to me
wild.
was very like it kind of takes away from everything else she was saying, because it got emotional. And I understand it, especially when a death is close to you, you could get emotional and start crying, be like, I don't want to talk about this. But for you to flip to then, okay, I'm gonna twerk it away,
That
it
was
kind
wild.
of it takes
She
away
might
from
have
the
been drunk
serious.
though.
What?
She might have been drunk.
And that's what I was saying. Like, I feel like the fact that there's alcohol involved, like there might have been too much alcohol, and things get kind of awkward and random things like that start happening. But I think from what I've seen in the manosphere, just in general, is that a lot of times people will have this certain image of the content creators that they watch. And so when there's something that happens that's like out of character or out of the brand that they've created on YouTube, people love to jump on that. And I mean, I don't I would never want to be a content creator just because
It's
I'm
different.
sure it's a really hard job.
It is different. I will say it is
Yeah.
different. It's super different. But I mean, that's what you sign up for. You know what I'm saying? You sign up for the criticism. You sign up for what comes along with it. What are your thoughts, Drew?
Yeah, I just saw that pretty much the end of that right there. But what I'll say,
I like the
what
glasses
I'll
too,
say,
though.
I appreciate it. No, but what I'll say is that really, I mean, realistically, I mean, she's a person, right? She's just Kevin Samuels. We already know what he stood for. So with her twerking it out, I think it's kind of like, a reverse psychology type of thing. She's doing something that's opposite of what he would normally stand for, which that's like her way of trying to, like I said, reverse psychology her way out of it to be able to better cope.
I just don't think she really thought that deep into it, to be honest with you. I think she was just like, I don't know. I think she was drunk.
You think?
I just think she was drunk, honestly.
And that's when the tears come out too, right? The drunk tears or whatever. But I don't know. It just seemed like she was trying to cope with the situation. Okay, let me twerk it out because I know Kevin wouldn't like this. So I don't know. I may be thinking too deep my damn self, but yeah, I don't know.
Y'all could jump in popcorn style. I just wanted to make sure I got everybody's thoughts before I I don't know, man. She was drunk. I know Quentin is a simp for her specifically, so Quentin do what he do. Quentin, I can't hear you. You muted, sir. I'm sorry.
I think she was fine with it because they went live again the very next night.
I think that we also got to take into consideration content, right? People really don't understand that for the most part, all visibility is good visibility, especially as a woman. I think as a woman, what y'all don't realize is that the fact that they, halfway pretty, got titties, got a butt, nothing changes. Like she's not gonna lose no subscribers. It's only gonna create more visibility for her. I think that the real person that won was MTR.
Yeah, I don't think
MTR is the one that's winning out of all of this.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad what she did there. I mean,
Oh no, it was bad. Like, no, it was bad. Let's be honest. Let's be clear.
I mean, what was so bad about it though?
About twerking for the funeral?
It was
Come on, man. Like we gonna be objective, then we got to be objective.
I feel you. No, I'm just saying, but like I said, I came on the ass end of that part. But was she twerking for the funeral, or was she twerking to try to get her emotions?
She said she was gonna twerk it out after feeling some type of way about talking about his funeral on the death.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So she was trying to change her mentality. She was trying to change her mind state so she wouldn't be crying more than anything.
This is why women will always win. This is why your sentiment is why men will always have to work 10 times harder to be even remotely as close to successful as women. This is a fact. Because listen, if I do some stupid shit like that, here we go. God. Yo, bet is off.
Let's talk. I mean,
bet is off. Bet is off. If I do some stupid stuff like that, I'll never be able to live it down. I'll never be able to live it down. A woman get away with it, or a woman do some stuff, y'all be like, let's give some grace, love, peace, hair grease, the whole 9 yards. Women will always be able to get away with. Yo, Q, get the curse. Get the whoever said it first. Women will always be able to get away with things that men can't get away with forever. Because no matter what, dudes are always going to simp because they're a woman.
Like I said, I could just see the mindset of it. I don't think that. I mean, there's certain things that a man can do. There's certain things a woman can do. It's
like what? What can a man get away with?
Well, that's what I'm saying. A man could not get away with that. I'm not saying that would be the case. I'm just saying that there are certain things that men can do. There are certain things that women can do, and vice versa. it's a double standard. We already know that. As far as even like a girl having, having sex with a bunch of dudes, she's automatically a whore. You don't necessarily say that for a man necessarily. Most
A
people
man
don't.
had to,
What
Say
do
it
you
again.
mean?
no, a man had to work for that. That's why there's a double standard for that.
But the thing about it is that all men don't even be able to get, they don't even get sex. You can't even use
Yeah,
it as an example.
but guys who don't get sex, I mean, there's something wrong
It's
with
a
them.
lot
Like,
of them. You know what the barrier to entry for most guys to get sex and not have to like go and get a prostitute on the street?
What?
And he risking his freedom if he decide to go get a prostitute on the street.
What's the barrier of entry though? What is it?
What do you mean? You got to do a lot of things. You got to be able to
You gotta be
articulate yourself. You got to be able to walk up to a chick cold turkey, talk to her out of the blue, talk her into the bed, right? You got to look good half the time. You got to smell good. You got to go do all of this barrier to entry. Whereas a woman, all she got to do is go through her DMs and pick one.
Yeah, but she can't be super trashy, or she got to
Yes,
get
she
picked
can.
too, right?
Oh, yes, she can.
Yes, she
Oh,
fucking
yes, she can.
Well, you got dudes who
Yes, she
pick
can, bro.
stuff and
Bust
whatever.
down
But what I'm saying is,
anything.
like,
What do you mean she can't
Bro.
be super trashy? Dog,
So,
dudes
and I'm-
will
and
bust
I'm
down anything, bro.
I'm thinking of a extreme situation, like for example, like a crackhead or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Dudes get, don't you know? Have you ever heard of dudes getting head from a crackhead?
sure, I have, but that's not something that you.
A
That's not
dude
something that you trying to
on
really
those YouTube
be
streets
with.
admittedly picked up a girl at a clinic after she got STD. And
Facts.
he still
You said
talks
what?
But dude told me on a live stream that he picked up a woman that had just tested positive for chlamydia. He knew she had chlamydia. He bust her down anyway.
That's
See what you did? You made her dip.
Nah, that's crazy. I mean, but you got to admit that it's two different standards though. Like, obviously,
I know it's two different standards, but part of why we know that there will always be women to be able to exist and do the things that they want to do when they want to do it and still get away with it is because people like you gonna make excuses for them.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just being logical. I don't really have an opinion one way or the other. I'm just, just chiming in, but I don't really give a damn what she do. You feel me? Like,
Are you a subscriber? Are you a subscriber to Melanie King?
Say it again.
Are you a subscriber to Melanie King?
I don't even know who she is. I mean, I seen her on MTR stuff, but I thought that I was kind of speculating, like, is he talking to her? Like, I don't know where she came from. I don't really know who she is.
The way they
Like,
started.
Are you gonna be subscribed to her now?
I might go check her page out.
Ooh, you done.
You're not qualified to have this conversation. If
You are done now, buddy. And
I can't go check her page out.
No, you can absolutely. But here's the bigger thing. That actually proves my point.
What?
You know why it proves my point?
Present more content off this.
Because
People
no
that
matter
don't
what
know
she
that
did, it
now.
just created an environment that allows for her to get more people that rock with her. It
I
didn't
agree
do
with you.
anything negative to her, and it didn't affect her in a negative way
That's
at all.
entertainment, right? I spent all last night looking at that King Von situation because I saw you talking about it. I had to go look at that, and it was,
I agree.
that's
It is
crazy
entertainment.
what goes on. But the crazy stuff is the stuff that we really want to see.
She's
That's
been on.
entertainment.
She's been on 3 people's channels she ain't never been on before, and that's all going to go to her over the last like 48.
I don't understand why people go to these some of these channels though. Some of it it doesn't make sense to me.
With y'all's name pop up, your name in an algorithm and her name and the big people's name.
Yeah, I know that. I know why people go to watch the channels. I'm not sure why people like us, right?
Yeah.
Why would she go onto a channel and make her stuff look foolish? Is what I'm saying.
Well, she said that she did it. It was she's really emotional at this point. She says she did it for her kids, and she didn't want her kids to one day grow up and see this. But then he rebutted, "You want them to see you twerking?"
She didn't want her kids to grow up and see what?
All this stuff on the internet about her not having her kids and all this defamation stuff about their dad and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, that's
Like,
the
'cause that
life
dude,
we
that
that's the
dude
life
came
we chose, though.
I agree. That dude who came up here is straight up from another dude's channel and he was reading the exact same thing the dude read last night.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's an
I'll
idiot.
it, at the end of the show, we'll cut it out. It's not even going to exist anymore. I'm just going to completely remove it. So that doesn't even matter. Like, YouTube has given us so many different tools to be able to remove the foolishness and stuff. I don't care anything about that. But go ahead, keep going. Anybody else? Any thoughts?
I'll stop caping for my boo. If Melanie, if you're watching, I'll take you out these YouTube streets.
I don't know though. Quinn, she said she wanted $5,000 to even be able to take her shirt off.
Hey, my taxes just hit. I got
If 5,000.
Would you? Here's a question, Quentin. Would you marry her?
Will I marry Melanie King?
Yeah.
100%, 1,000%.
No, I'm being serious right now. Would you really marry her?
Yes, and I would
You
take
would
her
marry
in
her? You would
public.
marry her?
I'd hold her hand and all that shit. What you
I don't believe you, Quentin. I don't believe you.
What you mean?
I don't believe you, Quentin.
I don't believe none of this nonsense I'm hearing about Melanie. She's an attractive, beautiful woman.
I
And
mean,
that's
I'm just, but come on, Quentin. We all know.
I can hear
And again, I don't have anything negative to say about her at all, right? But I'm just getting y'all sentiment because I know a lot of dudes be capping out here in these streets. Here's the question, though. We all know that looks is not enough in order to sustain a marriage.
It's
Man,
not when
So
she.
what do being beautiful got to do with whether or not you would actually marry her or not?
I think the realest I heard Melanie, like her true personality and what she thought about stuff came out last night on Cam Newton. She was just rocking and telling the truth and how she felt about marriage and rocking with the dude if he was in jail, if he cheated on her, and she sounded like a down chick.
And do you believe everything is the question? Because anybody can say anything on the internet.
Yeah, that's
Do you
easy.
believe it? Do you believe
Maybe
it?
I'm gullible. Maybe I don't think people just out here lying like to the umpteenth power.
Oh, Quentin. I can't believe it, bro. I can't believe
feel
you
like
just said that.
Content online after
Quentin.
mentioning Daniels' name,
She
then you
can't-
still probably out here.
She's still on the same stuff. Besides this twerking, that's the first time I seen her get out of pocket. It was just twerking.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm about to say. I mean, just
Once for
because she
someone to
twerked,
you
that means
just
she's not
seen
white
her over
material.
MTR's in the MTR studio, bro. You would still marry her?
Man, she was drunk. She gets drunk on her live streams like this before. I've seen this part of her.
Oh, Quentin. No, say it ain't so, big dog.
Yeah, you know me. I'm gonna stand down.
Quentin, you would marry a chick that was just on MTR's live stream?
Yes, I would. 1,000%.
Quentin. We
And I
got
tell-
we got a pandemic out here. We got a pandemic. What's up, Q? Or what's up, Kim? I'm talking to Q. What's up, Kim? How you doing, Kim? Can you hear me, Kim?
Oh, I can't hear myself.
I can hear you, Kim. Yeah,
I can't
right?
even hear myself.
I can hear you.
Am I supposed to be able to hear myself? I don't know.
No, I don't think you're supposed to hear yourself. Can you hear me, Kim?
I don't know. I don't know if y'all can hear me.
Yes, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we can hear you.
No, I just decided to like jump in because you had the young lady up here who was making so much sense. She kind of seemed like she was the only person with a little bit of, non-simpery in her conversation right now. No disrespect to you fellas. I get it. She's a beautiful girl.
Talk your
Y'all
talk.
clearly like what she got going on. I don't follow Homegirl. I'm probably not the type of woman that she is marketing to. I'm single. I don't cook. I have a child. But like I think we just have to kind of like take a few things into consideration, like how Anton mentioned earlier. It's content, right? Like regardless of her feelings, there was alcohol involved. I'm sure she did have a personal relationship, but this is content. Like she's trying to get her followers up, she's trying to get her money up as well. So you're gonna do what sells, right? Like that's the business that's the business that she's in. So like let's just keep that in mind. But yeah,
I
that was
agree.
it. Shout out to the homegirl that was here before.
I agree 100% with what you're saying. I think that
I can't hear anything. I don't know.
you can't hear nothing. Here, drop down and come back up. Drop down and come back up.
If you had a man, he'd fix you up.
I'm gonna bring you back up in a minute. Let me see if I can if we can get her fixed. Can you hear us at all? Can you hear us? All right, we're gonna bring her back up when she come back. I think she's right though. I think it's 100% content, bro. I think it's 100% content.
She ain't online enough for it to matter. She ain't really in it like that though. I don't feel like.
Who?
Melanie don't post that often.
How's she not online?
I don't think she's online enough to like. I'm looking for content. Like she don't post like maybe once every other week. She ain't deep in the streets like that.
What does she really talk about? What is she about?
Simping.
She real about.
You are simping. Quentin is simping. Oh my God, Quentin! I can't believe what it is that I'm hearing right now.
That's it.
Quentin, you not. What is okay? So wait a minute. Let me ask y'all a question. If Melanie King was toe up from the floor, if she was, let's just say she Lizzo, are you got the same energy?
Better not.
Yes.
No, you don't.
Are you just talking?
No, you don't.
Just
you do not have the same energy, bro.
I wouldn't marry her, but I'd have the man. Generally, man, we need to give more grace to women. Like, in general.
Quentin, I've seen you on Fight Club go ham on these chicks.
Man, Fight Club chicks is ratchet though, man. They don't. What you mean, bro? Man, ain't nobody close to Melanie King on Fight Club.
Oh my God!
But I do think for Sherelle on Fight Club. Shout out.
I can't believe y'all simping like this. I can't believe it.
What do you think? He said y'all simping. Who's simping?
You?
Nah, you was just defending her, bro.
Nah, I just said that I understand why she twerked,
bro,
from a mental standpoint.
Both you and Quentin. I know the type of dudes y'all are. Y'all will sell y'all homie out for some pussy.
Oh no, I wouldn't do that.
Yes, bro.
No,
a chick will whisper some sweet nothing in your ear next to you know the homie that you've been rocking with for the last 20 years. You looking at him funny like, man, I can't believe you, bro.
I can't. Woo, I can't do it.
Y'all are hoes over bros, man.
Nah.
Yes, y'all are, bro. I could tell.
Nah.
Which isn't necessarily a bad. Listen, it's not a bad thing. It's
My
just
wife
that
over bros.
No, listen. Just because you married, it don't change the sentiment. The idea is that y'all champion box first, man.
No.
Y'all champion box first.
Why?
How many times have your friends asked you to go out and you said, "Let me check with my wife first"?
My wife was twerking first, you know.
Dear Lord.
I mean, that's respectful. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see what's up. I'm gonna let her know. I'm gonna let her know. When I say check with her, I'm gonna tell her, like, all right, I'm about to go and do this.
You check with her and be like, "Hey, babe, do we got plans? You got plans for us already tonight, or can I go out with my friends?"
Hey, that's hilarious.
Come on, man. Let's be real about what it is that we talking about, bro.
Yeah, right. Nah, it's nothing like that at all. I mean, I obviously it's a time you gotta be respectful. You don't have to let her know, okay, this is what I'm going to go do. But just going out with the fellas, I mean, I could do that. But I'm just being real, man. Like honestly, like people doing stuff like that. That was her. She was crying. She was just trying to figure out a way to stop crying. So she did something. Like I told you, that's just a mental.
So she
thing
twerked
that she did
on live stream in front of everybody.
She twerked, right? Yeah. I mean, you can't say that it was like what was so wrong about that.
Derek, what's your thoughts, bro? I'm outnumbered here. I'm trying to understand what the sentiment of the fellas are.
Well, I honestly think that the twerking was out of hand, man. The twerking, I just think the twerking was out of hand. She didn't have to twerk, bro. There's a way of how you deal with situations like that, but I felt like she was out of hand with that.
That's my
What are your other thoughts? What other thoughts do you have, Derek, about this whole situation?
Well, I feel like all this, like the other two ladies said, this is for content. This is for content. They're just trying to get more viewers, get a little more money out of the situation. They collabed on it. I watched a little of the live and everything. I didn't watch the whole thing. It was kind of cringy to me, to be honest with you. Knowing how MTR is and knowing how Melanie is, I watched a little of everybody's content.
You sound like you got your phone covered up, like the microphone is covered up.
Sorry about that. It's probably my AirPods.
Yeah, if you could take the AirPods out, we can't really hear you like that, bro.
Give me a second. I'll come back.
At the end of the Casey Anthony trial,
oh God, here we go.
Judge Belvin Perry said death is different to explain away this woman's actions.
I said that though. I said that everybody before I seen her twerk. I said that everybody handles it differently, but I was speaking specifically about going to the funeral, right? Nobody should be required to do anything because everybody handles things differently. However, come on, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you great, bro. But let me say this also, though.
What do you think that says about her, though? What you
but
let
me say this also, though, Quentin. The problem also is that it shows two different sides. The side in which you're trying to have a conversation and hold women and give them advice on how it is that they're supposed to operate in the presence of men versus how you operate in the presence of men, right? You not supposed to be getting pissy drunk in the presence of a man if that's the thing that you supposedly advising women on how to operate around men, right?
Yeah.
You're not even supposed to be in a space talking about, well, I get a little crazy or whatever, because you literally are displaying the behaviors that you advise and hold women accountable for, right? So it's more than just the twerking. It's the entirety of the situation that then paints a picture of what it is that men are dealing with today. And more importantly, what it is that men see online. And if you sitting here and you saying, listen, this is why we hold baby mamas accountable that's not married. Because it's like, okay, well, listen, if you so effective at coaching, then how come you don't have the results? If you're so effective at giving advice and coaching, then how come you didn't take any of it? And that's the whole problem that I have with people in on the internet and at all. And that's why I show my receipts. A lot of people say, Anton, why you always showing your bank account? Why you always showing the money? Why you always showing receipts and stuff like that? Because it's too many people that can just show up because they pretty or they got some titties or whatever, and they can say anything to anybody. And it don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Well, those who can't do teach, right?
They
if just because you don't do the things don't mean you can't teach about it. I mean, that's like saying you can't get advice from a kid or something. You can get advice from anybody.
No, you can't get advice from anybody. Don't let them lie to you like that. Why? Listen.
That's a perfect example. Sorry.
Listen, bro. Would you go to the church of the pastor that was messing with little kids?
No.
Why not? Why not get advice from him?
I mean, I don't want to deal with him in general at all, period.
Why not?
Because of, you know what I'm saying, what he got going on. I don't want to deal with nobody like that.
Because his life is not a reflection of the things that he's advocating for.
But if I didn't know his backstory and he came around and he gave me some advice and it was some solid whatever that information.
How do you know if you're solid advice if you the one that's getting the coaching? If you knew, then you wouldn't be seeking advice from somebody that knew. If you knew what was better, then why would you be getting advice from somebody else?
Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't say advice. Maybe I should say if somebody has something to say, you can take it in and you can consider it no matter who they are. So I don't know what he had going on before, and he said something that I agree with, then I agree with it. Now,
I don't understand y'all, bro. I am confused. On how it is that y'all choose who it is that y'all gonna take insight from. This is crazy to me. Now, it's one thing to look at it. Go ahead, Q. Well, let me just say this. It's one thing to look at it as entertainment, right? I get that part. I get it. I understand it. And if you get some gems in there, so on and so forth, right? But it's another thing to look at some of these people and say, well, these people are my coach. That's crazy to me.
Nah, I'm
You
not
ain't got
saying
to
that.
show
That's
no
not what I'm
receipts.
saying.
You ain't got to do
Yeah.
nothing. All you got to do, come on, man. Stop it, bro.
Pretty face and twerk.
Y'all are some simps.
Facts.
I'm not gonna get.
Quit,
I'm not gonna let
Facts.
you get this
That's
off,
crazy.
Q.
She's
No,
a
I'm not
No,
gonna
man.
let you asked for simps,
because
Q.
y'all,
You said bring back
Quinn, may I
simp
say
90s
something?
R&B. I'm
Let her
not gonna.
Can I
finish,
talk?
Q. Nope. You got to let her finish, Q.
Let me finish. And this is why the women will keep on scamming y'all men on here. When something doesn't align with what they preach, I don't watch Melanie, but I saw some clips of her coming at another chick for twerking,
Yeah.
right? And that was recently she did that,
Did
right?
she
Granted,
really?
she drunk. Yeah, some London chick. I think
Yep.
she was on Pearlie's platform,
Mm.
right? So when things aren't aligning on what you preach, that means they're putting on a facade, right? For you guys, and guess what? They're gonna keep winning because there's men like you and you simping,
Humans aren't
simping
perfect.
because they're beautiful. Granted, they are
Humans aren't
beautiful,
perfect.
but I feel like I need to be a coach now. Like I need to be a
Uh,
coach and I need to be scamming y'all men.
Hypocrite
I
right
don't
now.
have a past. Like I'm like
You do have a past. Everyone has a past.
no, was never a stripper. I didn't embezzle money.
I didn't say it was a bad
I
past, but you have a
you know what my
past.
past is? You know what my past is? I got 2 speeding tickets. That's my past. I got 2 speed. Like these women are full. I need to be a coach. Anybody could say they're a damn coach nowadays and
they
then give
said I
out
they
this
said
game.
I took Brittany Renner seriously. That's not
Well,
true.
Anton,
Just because I had a conversation with somebody and I interviewed them and I took them for what it is that they said until they showed me something differently. How did I create a platform for her? What did I do for her?
Anton, you a whole different
What
person.
what
Anton
did I
thinks
do for her?
all. Let me just talk about Anton. Anton is it's what's it called? What is it? What do you call it? Get on Anton. What is it called? What is it? What did you call it?
Who, me?
Smoke show. Smoke show. Anton is very nice and forgiving.
Yeah,
Q
that's
is
true.
not. Q is not. Q don't think everybody's super duper dope. Q is not
They
forgiving.
are dope until they show you otherwise.
Q
Listen,
is fine.
this is my philosophy. This is my philosophy, right? You treat people according to how they treat you. When they treat you differently, then you make adjustments.
Okay.
That's my whole philosophy.
True, but when they treat you some way and then come months later or a year later and say, Anton, I'm sorry, let's talk about it.
Oh, I
Now they're
forgive
back
them.
to
I absolutely forgive them.
and you
But
see,
here's the difference though, Q. Here's the difference. I forgive guys and women.
no, granted. And I'm not a forgiving type regarding men or women.
But I
But I'm
believe
saying
in
like you
forgiveness in general. Just because you forgive somebody, don't mean that you put yourself in the line of fire again. No.
you should forgive them, but you should keep them at a distance to where they
Yeah, I
can't come
do.
back and bite you again.
But I do keep them at a distance.
You don't go
Who
I
has I
don't
who
know
have I
about that.
forgiven? Who have I forgiven that I made a part of my inner circle
I
again?
don't even want to talk about these hoes. We talking about these simp men that's on this panel right now. And they wonder why. This is why the women will continue scamming and scheming and doing what they do because there's going to be simps. They're going to be like, oh, you're pretty gorgeous. I love the way you coach us. Yes. Let me pay for a $650 hour course like with you. Like, I'm like, YouTube is so funny to me. Like, it is like a reality show. And I'm not even into reality shows, but YouTube is funny. But
Why do
women will
people
keep
want me to
winning.
go scorched earth? I don't understand that.
Scorch the earth.
Yeah, like I'm looking at people in the chat, and they say, Anton is a big softy and stuff like that. I like being nice. I like looking out for people. I like treating people well when they flying into town. I like showing people a good time. I like spending money. I like partying. I like for there to be good vibes and good energy and all of that. Why do people want me to be scorched earth?
Because
But
people
Anton,
like to
yes,
be up.
that's good. You should do that, but you can't do that with everybody. Like you can't be on
I'm gonna do
nicey
it
with
with everybody
everybody.
that's around me. If
Okay,
you
but
just
some
so
of these
happen to be in
people,
the building at the time, and we having a good time, you getting champagne too.
Anton, don't put me in the category because I have
I'm not
never
talking
flip
about you
flopped or.
specifically, Q. I'm
Oh,
saying if a person is in the building, let's say a person is in the building and they got bad intentions for me. I don't see your bad intentions until your bad intentions reveal themselves. So you gonna get champagne just like everybody else because that's just who I am. I'm a person that likes to have fun. I don't like to carry that negative energy with me because I believe that it drains you and it removes the thing that you love about people and life, and it takes away from giving other opportunities to other people because then you move as a person with trauma that you can't get over. And so I believe that forgiveness is not for them, it's for me. It's so that I can continue to see the good and other people, not then, use that as the thing that prevents me from having great relationships going forward. I'm never going to stop hanging out with women or putting women on just because this one may have did something dirty or this one to move a little bit differently. Nah, I lost nothing as a result of that. I lost absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, I'll go so far as to say this. I gained significantly. People don't even know how much money I made off of that interview that I did with her.
yeah, I mean, but that's a business deal. That's a little different.
But my point is that I won. All the way around, I won. All the way around, I won. I made money. You know what I'm saying? I created good content. I still own the content. I just dropped it on the other channel. I have my editors upload it to Don't Do Coke in the Bathroom. I'm gonna make money off of that content that I shot with them forever. Brittany Renner, all of them. I'm always going to make money off of that content. I own it.
Okay,
so
but
where did I lose it?
What about these other simps that are simping and ain't getting nothing in return?
Well, see, I ain't got nothing to do with that. They not getting nothing from it. They just simping for the sake of simping.
Cause she looked good.
I won. I won 1,000% across the board in every way possible. I won.
We need to call out the hypocrisy of this woman because she be the one bring the 90s simp music back. I love you. You love this. What you talking about?
Wait. There's a difference between There's a difference between me liking R&B simp music than me actually simping for broads that aren't they real selves because they look good. Don't try to deflect, okay?
You're gonna marry a simp, Q.
And plus, you like old ass ladies, so I get why you like Melanie, but it's just it's
She
not
is 2
matching.
years older than me. What the fuck you talking about?
Okay, I mean, okay, I forget that you're that old. But if you look at the end of the MTR video, right? I'm like, wait. First I thought they were talking. I thought they were dating. And then someone was like, no, they're not dating at all. So when I was looking at the end of the video and she was telling him, why don't you kiss me for a good 30 minutes?
That's
And
what
he was
happened?
like,
I didn't know nothing about
stiff
that.
arm. Yeah, look at the end of the video because they had a little dare kiss for 10 seconds and he was deflecting her like everything. And she was like,
I
why
gotta
wouldn't you
see what's
kiss me?
going on here.
Why wouldn't you kiss me?
Yeah, Twan, there's
But
a
y'all
lot
gonna
going
keep simping
on.
though. Keep simping. Keep
I
spending
think
your
that MTR won.
He did.
Listen. Guys are winning. I'm gonna read super chats at the end of the show. Guys is winning. I don't know what y'all looking at, but
Some
the
guys.
only dudes that's losing is the dudes that's simping and ain't getting nothing out of it.
Quentin. Now I don't even know your name below me.
Cause listen, y'all be simping for these chicks, and y'all act like y'all about to get some pussy through the screen.
They will never talk to y'all in real life. I'm sorry.
I wasn't simping. I just gave. Just because you agree with something or defend it, don't mean you necessarily simping. Like what this word is really being overused. What does it really mean? Like
No, it's not being overused. No, it's not. No, it's not.
It is in this
It's not.
situation. It is.
He don't
Yeah.
know what it means.
I think that dudes that extend this level of grace without getting anything in return is the reason why feminism is it turned into a behemoth.
So alternatively, what we supposed to demonize her or what? Like what?
I ain't saying demonize. I'm saying call it for what it is. If you see it to be what it is, don't make excuses for what for being for being what it is. Listen, if I do some of the same things, I'm gonna be held accountable. I get held accountable for stuff that ain't even true.
Yeah.
And Q be knowing it ain't true. Q be like, Anton, you need to do this. I be like, nah, just let them think whatever they want to think. I get held accountable for stuff that don't even remotely be true.
So basically, an echo chamber. If you don't agree with everything that the men talking points, then you a simp, basically.
No,
What?
I think that you not
Yeah.
calling it for what it is.
No, I called it exactly for what it is.
I'm with you, boss.
But that was a little pride.
Bro, you said she twerked to deal with the
Who?
pain and the hurt.
The death of Kevin Samuels.
Right,
Who
in the
twerks?
moment.
Okay,
Think
let's
about it.
address
Y'all
that.
never,
Okay.
y'all never played sports or nothing like that. Like
Yes, I played
you don't know,
sports all my life.
What do playing sports got
Okay,
to do with
well,
anything, bro?
because it
I don't
has to
see
do with mindset, right? It
not
has
this
to do
much.
with mindset. It has to do with compartmentalizing inside of your head. If she's crying and she wants herself to stop crying, and then she starts twerking, all right, I'm gonna start twerking because this is gonna make me feel better. Do I agree with the action?
I ain't
That's
going
on
that
her.
far,
I'm not
bro.
telling you. I'm not telling you.
That's a terrible example.
Simp
You
number
just
No,
one.
it is. No,
So
it's
you're
not. No,
saying,
it's
Oh,
not.
that is so
Because
bad,
Oh
bro.
my
hold on,
just like
but
in
a week
sports,
ago she was demonizing a
oh
girl for twerking. Make that make
I don't know
sense.
what happened a week ago.
Okay, of course you. But I'm telling you, I saw it. I saw it. Okay, so believe me, just trust me. Because if you trust her, just trust me for like 5 seconds. She said she didn't go to the funeral. She didn't want to see the body. Granted, that's cool. Why didn't you go to the
I have no
wake?
problem with
Why
that
didn't
at
you go
all.
to the reception? Why didn't you pay the respects to your family? If you was so cool with that's like, for instance,
You
if
can't call
something
that out.
happened, God forbid, something happened to Anton and Rita, y'all not gonna hear me for fucking weeks. I'm not
It's
about to go
different. You
live
deal with
and
it
say,
different.
Quentin, simp number 2, hold on, right?
It's different.
Hold on, wait, Q. Quentin said that after he seen her on MTR and telling MTR to take his shirt off and everything like that, he would marry her.
Of course, Quinn. Look, we already know Quinn's old track record. What he likes. He likes old ass broads. He likes broads that are out
Oh,
there.
that's crazy.
Yeah, like, and she don't want you, Quinn. She want MTR. At the
Well,
end of the video,
Let
she
Q
wants
run her
MTR.
mouth. It's cool.
No, I'm going on basis with
dog. If you see a chick
Quinn.
on the camera and she's saying that she want another dude, ain't no way in the world you supposed to say that
She
you
not
would marry
looking
her.
your way. She said, "Take your shirt off." She said, "Why don't you kiss me for 20 minutes?" This
You would
chick ain't
marry
worried
that,
about none of y'all.
Quentin?
Yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
man,
Look at the
That's
end of the
wild.
video.
you look
Affirmative.
to be honest, she looked thirsty to me. She looked thirsty for MTR to me.
In time, y'all's wives or girlfriend has asked some other dude to take his shirt off. Y'all just didn't see
Never.
it.
That's not his
Well, not yours.
girlfriend,
Never.
Quinn. Can I say
In
something,
Never.
yo?
general,
Never.
in
Well,
general,
Anton,
Never.
Yeah,
yo,
that's a little different. The
Anton,
world can see
let's
that.
say
That's a
if the
little different.
roles were reversed.
No, you
Let's say
talking about publicly, Quentin?
Yeah, public. Don't lie.
that's not his
The
girlfriend.
thousands
But
of
can I
views.
say something, Anton?
the thing about it
What
is, I
happened?
don't lie because most niggas gonna lie and say they wouldn't fuck with Melanie King when they're fucking lying. I'm
They
not.
That's
would.
not what we
She's
asked you.
pretty.
No.
That's not
That's
what
not what I
we said
asked
right
you,
there.
Quentin. I
Saying
asked
that.
you, would you marry her? And you didn't even think about it for 5 seconds. You was like, absolutely, ring in hand, on one knee, in
Lock
the
it in
air.
right now. Lock that shit in.
Oh, man.
A lot of men would effort. But I have a question, Anton. If roles were reversed on that panel, and if it was him acting that way, and him saying, "Hey, are you gonna kiss me? Are you gonna kiss me? Are you gonna kiss me?"
It would
Women
seem
would go.
desperate. It would be thirsty.
Women would go in on that
They
man saying
would.
he's desperate.
They
He's
would.
essaying me. Come on, man.
I didn't even
Y'all
see
men.
that. I didn't see that part, but
Yeah, I'll send you this timestamp. Like, it's at the end. You'll see it.
She got all the stamps ready for you.
You ain't shit.
I mean, all I gotta do is scroll at the
ready.
end.
She's ready for the
You'll
smoke
see
today.
her. But it's like I'm like, these women, men and women can just put their coach and then just reinvent themselves on here, and then people just really gonna believe it.
yeah, it's
I be like,
wild.
this is crazy.
Isn't she divorced though? I'm sorry if I came in a little late. Isn't she divorced?
I don't
Yeah.
know anything about her personal life, honestly.
I'm
she's
just
new.
wondering, married, why, like you said to him, why is she giving out coaching and dating advice though?
Ask Quinn.
She doesn't
Quinn know her whole life.
like I can't. Can't give out no relationship advice. Who the fuck? Who's gonna take advice from me?
Are you saying a coach that got fired can't get out coaching advice?
Yo, that's like me
No,
giving
because why
advice
do you?
on how to raise kids, though, and I don't have kids.
I
Like,
mean, anybody can give advice.
true.
Listen,
That's
I think
now
I think
anybody
it's
can give
fine.
advice.
I don't
Hold
really
up.
have a problem with it. I have a problem with y'all looking at it as anything more than entertainment. That's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, as much as I rock with Pearl, and I rock with her because I know her in real life. Come on back up, Q. As much as I rock with Pearl, and I rock with her because I know her in real life. As an individual, me personally, I'm never taking. Why would I take advice from Pearl?
Don't make no
Just
sense.
in general.
But if she has something to say that's beneficial, you're gonna take that.
How do I know if I'm the person that's looking to get the advice? If I'm the person that need, hold on, listen. That's like this is why I think that therapy is a scam. Because how is the patient able to determine whether or not the person that's treating them knows what they're doing as far as what they're giving them? Because if they knew, then they wouldn't be a patient.
Yeah,
how can the sheep pick the shepherd? You don't know. You don't know what you don't know. Nobody has. Listen, most of the people that gives advice on the internet don't have a clue on how to be successfully married or hold down a relationship. How do I know? Because your life is supposed to be the evidence of the thing that you preach. That's why they say practice what you preach. I would never go to a financial advisor and then he say, hey, man, you need to add this into your portfolio. The first thing that I'm going to say, and this is what all of the books say, it says mind your business. Mind your business means how come you don't have it in your portfolio, or how come you haven't implemented it at one point in your life, but you giving advice to me? Why would I buy it and you didn't buy it?
See, that's why so many people lose, though. I feel like right there. No, seriously, because it's people who don't have access. And I'm thinking about, let's just say people in the hood, right? They don't have access to these people who are going to be able to tell them something.
Which is why I show the receipts.
But what I'm saying
is, which is why I show the that's true. A lot of people don't have access. You know what they got access to? The books that the people wrote. You can go and get any kind of book that you want from Tony Robbins, Warren Buffett. You can get Invent and Wander from Jeff Bezos. But
even that, right?
No. You know what's empty? The library.
But that's my point, right? Because what if they're if I got a friend, right, and I'm trying to tell him read this book, but then he's listening to you, he's like, oh no, I'm not gonna listen to him, because why should I read this book? Because such and such is you in the same spot as me, but you want me to read the book. So it's like you gotta listen to somebody.
What do reading the book got to do with him taking advice from you as far as how it is that he's supposed to live his life?
Because
if somebody listen, the overwhelming majority of people that read books tend to be people that are more successful than people that don't read books. The more overwhelming majority of people that go to college tend to make more than $1 million in a lifetime than people that don't.
But if I'm next to this person, right, and I'm telling them to read this book, and they're saying, no, I don't want to read it because you're in the same spot that I'm in. So what did that book do for you?
Then go and get advice from somebody that actually is successful and ask them if you should still read the book.
But a lot of people don't be. That's what I'm saying.
You got an excuse for everything.
Yeah, you can also learn from people's bad examples.
You got an excuse literally for everything, bro.
No, look.
So you got an excuse of why we should take advice from people who don't have the results, but you don't have an excuse, or you do have an excuse from why we shouldn't listen to people that do have the results.
Say that one more time. I'm a C student like you. Go ahead.
You have excuses for why we shouldn't listen to people that have the results, and then you also have excuses as to why we should listen to the people who don't have the results, right? So we should listen to people that don't got the results based off of what?
Based off of you can experiment, you know what I mean, yourself and see if it works, because if you need some help, then you should try something.
So you should experiment with gambling and see if it works by a guy that then says that he made a lot of money at the casino, right?
Experiments.
Or not, because the statistics show that casinos are not built off of winners.
Well, like I said, you'll soon find out that it didn't work. But should you
But
try
what if you
it?
get addicted to
I
going to
would.
the casino? What if you get addicted to gambling? But you never should have
Only
been
way that's gonna
exposed to that in the first place. Maybe you should try to see if, man, this is crazy. I don't even know what
I'll
I'm
pay
talking
for
about.
his coaching calls.
No, I mean, touche. I hear what you're saying, but what I'm trying to we're talking about actual life though, like what really happened.
I know you only get
So
one of them. We don't get respawns.
I understand that.
So
Like
you might want to try not to fuck it up.
I hear you, but we're not necessarily talking about me personally. I'm just talking about people out there who are, let's just say, on the bottom and who are trying to come up. You know what I mean? People who are in the hood, people who so-called don't have the resources. What is it that they should do? Because I hear what you're saying. Because I just get rid of all the people and I read the books and I try to educate myself and I get in sales and I do what I need to do to take care of my family. But for the other people,
So who do you listen to? Who do you listen to for advice?
honestly, I listen to you a lot.
Why?
I listen to
Why?
why? I like your style, you know? I like your
You
style.
listen to me because you like my style?
I like your style, yeah. Yeah, that's number one. And then also I like what you have to say. I agree with it. I mean, you know what I mean? I just agree with it. I like the lifestyle. You one of the reasons why
Oh,
I decided
wait. What lifestyle?
well, specifically what I'm talking about is the family part, the fact that you want to get money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you about that. So those two things I'm I agree with. So that's why.
So you can see the evidence of the things that I talk about. When I talk about marriage and relationships, I really am married and I'm in a relationship. When I talk about getting money, I really get money. When it talks about doing certain things that's productive or conducive for your life, I live it. That's the lifestyle part of it.
Sure. What's your point?
That means that's the evidence.
Okay.
So why would you listen to somebody that doesn't have the evidence?
I would listen to everybody and take it in and filter it.
Okay, so let me let me revise the question. You married, right?
Yeah.
Would you advise your wife to listen to a woman that can't keep a man on how it is that you need to keep a man?
No.
Why not? Why you ain't letting her experiment?
Well, let's just say that she talked to a guy who couldn't keep a man. I mean, a woman who couldn't keep a man, and she said something that was real in regards to, oh, you should get married and blah blah blah. Something that was positive towards our relationship. Then in that case, she should.
You don't know what's
right?
being. You can't monitor 24 hours a day. You don't know what's being said. She's
wouldn't.
listening to a woman that can't keep a man talk about what she should do in her relationship. Would you be cool with that?
It depends on what that woman was saying.
You don't know what she's saying. You not with your chick 24 hours a day. You don't know what she's looking at on her phone. Would you advise your woman to listen to a woman about what it is that she should do in a relationship when that woman may not have been able to keep a man, as a baby mama, maybe a feminist, whatever? Would you be cool with that?
If I knew all the details of that woman and it was an alternative that was better, then no.
Why not? Let her experiment.
I don't care if she can listen to it, but she shouldn't be taking in, you know what I mean, anything that's going to be negatively impacting us. That's all I'm saying.
So you don't care then? You cool with it then?
I mean, the thing is that if something's real. It doesn't really matter necessarily who it comes from, unless you know their background.
So you saying that the background matters now, right?
The background absolutely matters as far as if I'm going to be dealing with you in general. But if I don't know what your background is and you say something that's real and I agree with it, then I just agree with it.
So you cool with her experimenting then?
Say it again. Yeah.
So you cool with her experimenting?
I'm cool with her. Don't try to twist my words. Okay?
That's what you said. You said that word. I didn't make it up. I didn't bring it up. You said it.
So what I'm saying is, again, if it's some solid advice, no matter where it comes from, it's okay to filter it. That's what I'm saying. Period. That's
Well,
what I'm saying.
I run my household a little bit different. My wife is
Okay.
gonna listen to me. That's it.
So she can't look at no other she can't look at nothing. She can't look at nothing. She can only listen to Anton's voice.
That's
What you're
correct.
saying?
That's correct.
I don't believe it.
With regard to relationships, absolutely. Now she don't even be on YouTube until she watches me. She's never on YouTube unless she's watching me.
What's she on? What's she on?
She likes to look at little TikToks. Dance
Okay, well,
challenges,
TikTok-
dance challenges with my daughter, stuff like that. Taekwondo tournaments. She likes to look
and
at
if she
makeup.
came
She like
across
to like to look at skincare and makeup tutorials, stuff like that.
And if she came across something, talk about a relationship, she
Turn
just
that
come
shit
across
off.
it. She would come. You wasn't there.
Turn that shit off.
Because you are on her shoulder at all times. You know exactly where she, you know what I'm saying? You're not there. So like you said, the same example, you're not there to be able to dictate that. You know what I'm saying? She out on the flight somewhere, she listening to
Hello.
Yo, what up? You busy?
No, what's happening?
So I'm on the live, but I'm gonna ask you a quick question really quickly.
Okay.
We sitting on a plane. We got the Wi-Fi. Something pops up on your computer in the video. I don't necessarily like it. What do I tell you to do?
He said, get off the internet.
What did I say?
Get off the internet.
And what did you do?
I got off. I closed it. Got off of it.
Thank you.
that is not my example. That is not what I'm saying, but I feel you. I'm talking about if you're not there. You gave an example of y'all two being in the same space. If you weren't there, then you're not there to tell her to turn it off, and she saw something, then she saw it.
She knows based off of how it is that I train her to move when it comes to seeing certain things.
Same here.
No, it ain't the same. You ain't. No, stop it. Stop it.
What?
Stop it.
It's the same here.
You tell your chick to get off of that page, to get off the internet?
Yeah, my girl don't even have no Facebook.
You tell your
Instagram,
girl to get off the internet, to get off that page.
I normally don't have to.
Nigga, it's a yes or no.
Answer the question.
The question,
I
though.
normally do not have to.
So it's a no.
So it's a no.
What do you mean? Like I don't have to. If
you know what I mean. You know what I mean, bro.
If I didn't like what she was looking at, I would tell her to get off of it. Yeah, absolutely. If I didn't like it, but like I said, I normally don't have to.
How many people here believe that? How many people here believe that you tell your chick to get off the internet if you don't like what it is that she watching? How many times have you done it?
I can't count. You know why? Because it normally don't happen.
Has it ever happened? Has it ever happened to where you told your chick, get off the internet?
Get off the internet? Like specifically get off the internet? No, I don't just be like, just get off the internet. But if she was looking at something that was like that I didn't agree with, like, what is that? What you looking at? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say something about it.
You ask questions.
So,
you ask clarifying questions. You don't tell her what to do.
Listen.
Do I just say get off the internet?
Listen. On my father's grave and on my daughter's life, it just happened on Wednesday on my flight on the way back to the crib. I made her get off the internet. I ain't even have to make her. I just said, yo, get off of that. Get off the internet. Shut that down and take a nap because you tired right now.
That's y'all dynamic though. You feel me? Like
I know.
She don't.
But what I'm saying is that I'm a reflection of the thing that I advocate for. I live it. I don't operate in the same way as a lot of these guys. And listen, a lot of people can say a lot of things that may not necessarily agree with the way that I run my household. But what I'm saying is I run things differently, bro. Me, my brothers, my father, we all run things differently. And the women that's up under us, they don't talk back to us. They don't move the same type of way that these women on the internet is having these conversations with y'all. And they giving all of these women to be able to, the empowerment to say whatever they want to say and do what they want to do. I don't move like that. And you know what they love about it? they love that we control what's going on when it comes to how it is that they. And the beautiful thing about it is they understand that we do it because it's best for them. It's for their protection, right? And my point is that we don't have the same chicks that y'all. Not you specifically. I'm not talking about anybody on the panel, but our women don't move like that, bro, at all. Right? They love it. They love the fact that, when we say something, we mean what we say and we say what we mean. They know that when we say get up off of that, that's for their protection. They don't talk back. They don't go back and forth with us. We don't do that junk. And so how y'all gonna talk to these women about relationships, or how y'all gonna talk to these dudes that ain't really living it? I don't understand it. I don't understand it, bro. That's wild to me. That's wild to me. My mom, her mom, operate the same way. I tell her mom, hey, listen, that's not what you're doing. That's the end of the conversation. I'm not about to go back and forth with you. I'm not going to argue with you. It's over. You not doing it. End the discussion. I just talked to her mom literally last night. And I said, no, this ain't how you moving. You moving this way. End of the conversation. Like, I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with you. My mom ain't going to sit here and go back and forth with me. That's the end of the conversation. They know. And the beautiful thing about it is they blessed as a result of it. They get to live life. They shop. They have a good time. They take the best flights. They enjoy one another and all of that. They don't. What you mean? I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. I just don't understand how the society is moving. This is wild to me.
No, it's definitely wild.
It's wild crazy. To me. Y'all chicks be inviting other people into y'all. That's why y'all brother husbands now. That's why these dudes in society. I'm not talking about you. I said I'm not talking about anybody on the panel.
Oh, okay.
That's why dudes in societies is brother husbands now, man. They brother husbands. They got women talking about I want to bring another man into the bedroom and stuff. What?
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
I'm different, bro. I'm different. I'm not used to what it is that y'all deal with. I'm not used to dealing with some of these modern women. Some of these modern women they do stuff and they switch up and they be trained. I'll be like, okay, I guess I got burned on that one, but that certainly ain't never playing out in my house. Oh, and here's the other part about it. This is the other part about it. Women know to be chameleons around me. Whatever it is that they operate in real life, whatever it is that y'all see playing out on the internet, that ain't how it was. That ain't how it is in my presence. And that's a fact. Whatever it is that y'all see playing out when they feel comfortable, when they get back home and they on the internet, is not the way it is when we in person at all. Not even a little bit. Be a chameleon around me. Be a chameleon around me. I want you to be. I want you to switch it up when you get around me, and that means that you're going to be on my code when we around each other. Be a chameleon. As a matter of fact, here, let me show you something. This is for the people. We're going to play it out for the people. Give me a second. Let me show you. Let me show you the real. All right? I know a lot of y'all think that y'all be knowing. Give me a second. Give me a second. Because we could say whenever we want to say, right? But it's a whole nother conversation about what happens in real life. We gonna play this out. Enough of this nonsense. Give me a second.
Could I say something real quick, Anton?
Hold on 1 second. I got you, baby girl. Give me 1 second. We can say whatever we want happen on the internet.
Anything you tell me to do, I'm gonna do it.
I know
Anton could call me and be like, "Six, go on your roof, jump up and down, pat your head, rub your belly," and I would be like, "Okay, I don't know why I'm supposed to be doing this, but I know if he's telling me to do it, it's for a reason."
I'm gonna leave that there. We gonna leave that there. Enough of all of this tough talking and bullshit and stuff like that. We just gonna leave that there. I'm gonna leave that there. All right? Go ahead, baby girl. Say what you want to say.
The 6-footer.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Go ahead, Melephant. Can you hear me, Melephant? She muted. I think she muted. Oh, well, whatever. Go ahead, y'all can say what y'all want to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have a bit of a delay. I just want to say one thing before I have to hop off, but just an observation from somebody who watches a lot of like manosphere content creators. I feel like a lot of the women in the space have a majority of a male audience. And the ones that I would consider, I mean, I wouldn't consider them part of the manosphere, but they talk about relationships like Fascinating Womanhood with Dixie Angelin Forsyth. She constantly talks about marriage. She's been married over 30 years.
She got
but she doesn't get the same type of viewership. She doesn't get the same type of attention as
I don't know what this lady is. Her connection is. But go ahead. Anybody else got anything they want to add into this conversation?
I feel like people's true colors eventually show.
They always do.
Like, people can show face, it could be a chameleon in front of your face, but after a while, you'll find their true colors in time eventually. That's how I ain't gonna lie, that's how a lot of us, this simping shit is what kind of lies, because they can be a chameleon in front of our face, but once we don't see them red signs from the beginning. We don't take notice of that shit, so that's our fault.
That ain't my fault. That's your fault.
And that's why I said it's accountability for our end, not seeing them in the first place.
That's your fault. That ain't my fault. I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be. Y'all got Quentin to take care of y'all though. Quentin up there.
I got y'all's back, man. I'll never murk your waters.
Come on, Quinn, bro.
Hey, nigga, I am who I am. I
Hey,
ain't
we
never
can take
been
that.
No woman. I can tell you that right now.
Hey, at least you owning up to it, bro. At least you owning up to it, dog.
So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We right.
I ain't got much more to say. It was good connecting with you, my brother.
Yeah, thanks for coming up on the panel, big dog.
For sure.
Hey, Torn, I really want to appreciate you, bro. I just joined your Bad Chasers. I'm just
shout out to the Chasers.
I'm just looking to evolve. I see what you are and what you represent, and I really respect you and everything. So I really thank you for letting me come on, voice my opinion. Just having a good time with y'all, kicking it with you too, Quinn. I see you on the live stream a couple of times, but I appreciate y'all.
Shout out to you, big dog. I appreciate you. Thank you, bro.
Appreciate you, and happy living, and stay up, man. Stay
absolutely,
blessed.
Bro. And the Lone Ranger.
Final words of the day is Anton ain't shit.
I just don't understand why people keep talking about me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, leave me out of it. I just want to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? I want to do my stuff, do my dance, and have a good time, man. I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I'm slow motion. I don't want no beef with nobody. I want to stay out of this whole thing.
I feel you. I don't want no deck of dodging though when I come to Dallas. Ain't no hiding in no airports and no poles. We gonna
Yeah, we got the official location. We dropping that this weekend, so it's gonna be dope. It's
Yeah,
gonna
I'm right
be
now.
dope. All right, Quentin, I'll holler at you, big dog.
Yep.
Let me buzz down these super chats. All right, let's see what we got here. I gotta get the super chats in. Let's see what we talking about. Chris has said, if I was ever crazy enough to do an in-person stream with a female, my wife has to be there. She must be sober for the whole duration of the stream. No form of alcohol will be in the vicinity. And leave when the stream is done. Shout out to Chris J with the 20 ball. I appreciate you. Oh, Q, please don't remind me. Alvin S says Melanie King equal PM Dawn plastic, y'all. Shout out to Alvin S in the building. D Blake says she was live calling around the hospitals before we knew he passed. It was disingenuous, and I don't believe she actually cared. She wanted a moment. It's crazy. It's just crazy out here in these streets. Executive Suite MLE is in the building, says, what up, though? My birthday today. Put some cigar smoke in the air for your dog. Happy birthday. Executive Suite MLE is in the building. I appreciate you, big dog. Tia Marie says, this honestly looks like someone who's been hiding and masking a lot, and the sauce is limiting her ability to keep up the charade. How do you go from tears to twerking? Something in the mill ain't clean. Shout out to Tia Marie. Or something in the milk ain't clean. JB says, I got to twerk it out. What type of 304 logic is that? Quincy says, your face is priceless over the twerking. Don't stop there. It's more uncomfortable situations. I don't even know if I could watch anymore. Chris J says, I hardly know anything but MK. This is bad. Barefoot Catfish Jones is in the building, says, make me feel good. In the Holly Berry voice. I think that was called Monsters Ball. Maybe that was Monsters Ball. Marcellus Davenport says, keep the content coming. Thank you, my friend, for the 10 ball. Smooth Will says, Anton, you better not let Rita lose that sexy body. Greatness to work is, why are people digging in personal business and doxing people over YouTube? That's sucker-ish to me. A lot of YouTube people suck at being content creators. I agree. That is some sucker stuff to me. Kim Brown, shout out to Kim Brown. I appreciate you. Cliff Williams says, it's amazing how people have time to read through 22-page court document on something that has absolutely nothing to do with their existence, but don't have time to level up. You said it, not me. Shout out to Treehouse Entertainment, DJ Vapors, The GOAT Experience says, love what you're doing, always tuning in and soaking up the bag. Salute to the Chasers. Shout out to Quincy. Quincy says, all them personalities we just saw, she's dangerous. Adonis says, too many people speak on issues without context, yet the very outsiders who do not have a platform speak as if they also run platforms. It's like a child telling a teacher they don't need to be taught. Quincy back in the building says, they simping hard. The real her will ruin them. Adonis is back in the building. 1909 says, some people are too slow to discern content and entertainment from reality and real life situations. Whose life is on hold because of just pearly things or this drama? Because money don't stop for no one. Get your bag. Freedom is in the building, says she was wrong, admit it. My girl Yvette is in the building with the 20 ball, says, I love you, big bro Anton. Thank you, Yvette. I love you too. Distinguished gentleman says, if you don't hit it right, there will be two in one night. Quentin is going to be a stepdad, said Rickster. Distinguished gentleman says, that's Cynthia G without makeup. Oh my God. Brock says Quentin definitely got his cape on. Q says Quentin is marrying an ex-stripper. Be Real says, you missed the part where she wanted to kiss for 10 seconds. Wow. Really? I'm not sure I needed to see it. Been in gas station AirPods. Freedom said that. Q says, where's the link? Or I already got you, Q. Let me make sure I get everybody here. Few more super chats. Sandy says, a lot of men have standards until they come across a bad chick. Then those standards been like metal chairs. Simp men will forever exist. Jeremy says, women won't change because there's always a simp. Shout out to Logic Reason with the 20 ball just dropping off. He also says, Anton, is it cool to come on a panel? It's all world peace regardless. Yeah, absolutely. Cam Up Podcast says, bro, check your email. I got you. I'm checking my emails. It said in the second stream, she said they are like cousins. Come on, family. Corey Mitchell says MTR has also done videos like that with Melanie Monaco. It's all for views. I believe that. I believe it's just content creation. I don't think it's any more than that. Kay Cooper is in the building, says that's not all the way true. People like Tony Gaskins is living what he preaches, being married over 15 years. Shout out to Tony Gaskins. Good afternoon, big dog. That's a fire hoodie I was trying to sneak on while on break, but I just know you're absolutely correct about this whole situation. Why are black people defending twerking? Because black people like to twerk, big dog. You know what it is. Shout out to you for the 10 ball. Said a lot of these dudes have to be trolling. A simp can troll too, says sibling rivalry. Shout out to cousin Joey P and B little sis in the building. Mr. Youngblood City says, Anton put out videos sometimes that talk about my real life at the moment. Sometimes I feel like this guy's following me around because it's so specific and detailed and timely. Shout out to you. This goes against everything we should be standing for as black men. We're hypocrites if we'll accept twerking as long as she's pretty. Freedom says this dude don't know what the F he talking about. He has nothing to stand on. He can't substantiate nothing. He ain't a man. Shout out to Freedom. Orange Hat don't get it, bro. Shout out to Cliff Williams. Ronnie Robinson says, Mr. Anton, I hope all is well. Why are you so nice to the simps? We need scorched earth, Anton. I hold these simps accountable. Simps can't comprehend. Nice Anton, apparently. I'll be rocking out. I'm chilling. No big deal. Keep on talking at King Talk, Anton. My beautiful milk of magnesia has been on point ever since I started watching your content heavily last year. These simps be too scared to lose their woman. And shout out to Kim. I appreciate you, Kim Brown. Also says, listen, I don't even agree with everything that you say, but you do have a commanding energy, so that makes sense. How many men are matching that type of energy? See, Kim get it. Kim get it. Kim is rocking with it. Lamb Sauce says, I am a grown man who is triggered by your privilege and I'm unsubscribing. Joking to catch you slipping. Oh, shout out to Ian. He says peace. And then my dog Preston Walker says no bag fumbling on a Friday. No bag fumbling on a Friday. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for continuing. I don't really know if I should continue to do have y'all coming up on a Friday. It's almost like some people mess it up for everybody because we know that some people ain't even supposed to, like, it's like they cam up just to do dumb stuff or they promote other stuff and all of that. And it's like, I try to make it available for people to be able to come up and say what they want to say. I don't know. I'm gonna have to evaluate that. I'm gonna talk to Q and see what it is that she think, and then we're gonna make the determination from there. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody that made money on me cursing today because I certainly said that I wasn't going to curse. I'm not happy about it. But I need y'all to do me one more favor before we get up out of here. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be successful by ourselves. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Patreon members, make sure you tap into the Patreon this afternoon so you can get the latest updates. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.